rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your man, Uncle Freezy. Just working on a few things here, trying to tighten up some stuff. Hold on, let me. There we go. All right. What's good, party people? What's good, Knicks fans everywhere? How y'all doing tonight? Good. CT is in the building. Eli M. What's good? Kane Jerry, I see you. What's good? Soul Finger. What's good? Bro, y'all listen, man. I just came. I wanted to hang out with y'all, with everybody for a little while, man. Maybe kick it for a couple of hours. Talk some Knicks. Talk some Miles McBride. Talk the future of New York Knicks basketball. Right? I want to talk some the future of New York Knicks basketball, man. Right? So I have a stance. Right? That I want to pick a direction and go. Right? Just pick a direction and go with the organization, right? But ultimately, my ultimate goal is win a championship. Right? I think we should, under no circumstance, take our eyes off the prize, right? Under no circumstance do I feel like we should take our eyes off the prize. The ultimate goal should be to win multiple championships. Right? And what I mean by that is stay focused on winning the chip more so than all the other things that go along with winning a chip. Right? Like, and what I mean by that is I don't care nothing about City Edition jerseys. Right? I don't care nothing about fancy windmill dunks. I don't care nothing about records. I don't care how many threes you set in a game unless it contributes to winning. Right? Wilson Ding is in the building. What's good? Nah, it's an iced coffee. It's an iced coffee, bro. I'm drinking that, doing that because sometime during this joint, I'm gonna start back doing push-ups, doing sometime during this stream. Worldwide L, what's good? Brooklyn Buddha is in the building. What's good? Like, you know, I'll take a break, get off camera, and just do some push-ups. It's a weird thing, man, but everybody has like strange things that they do, and that's one of the strange things that I do, like trying to get back into this push-up thing. Get your back stronger and all that stuff. So, but anyway, my thing is pick a direction and go, right? Pick a direction and go. Did I freeze up just anyway? I say pick a direction and go, right? And hey, shout out to AC Antisocial. What's good, AC? So even though pick a direction and go is my stance, I want to talk about one of the directions. And I want to clarify it. I just want to talk about one of the directions that's an option. And the option is the youth movement. Julian Blum is in the building. What's good? Right? So I want to talk about one of the directions. And the direction I want to talk about is the youth movement. So I believe if we go in the direction of the youth movement, right? Say if that's the direction that we want to go in, right? Then I feel like we should go full bore in that direction and don't turn back. Let me do this right here. I don't want to be rude, right? Let me do this right here. I don't want to be rude. Bim. Okay. So the thing is with that option is if we choose that option, there should be no turning back. If you say go youth movement, you got to go all in on this youth movement. Okay. There's no, hey, this kid ain't who we thought who we thought he was gonna be, and you know, now man, we can go out and get such and such. Soulfinger, what's good, bro?
What's going on, huh?
Bro, I think when I talk about pick a direction and go, I think people misconstrue what I'm thinking as play the vets and sacrifice the kids. But what I'm really saying is, if you're gonna go with the kids, go all in with the kids, right? If like if you're saving for a rainy day, save all the time for a rainy day, right? But if you going for broke, go for broke, right? And so sometimes people want to go for broke and save for a rainy day, right? But you can't do that. Like Julian Blum says, can't we do both? A mix? No, you can't. No, because the thing is, how frustrating is it going to be to you if Miles McBride is the third string point guard? He comes into the game, he starts cooking. And then Tibbs said, hey, man, I told you you're only going to get 6 minutes. And he snatched him out with 6 minutes left and bring in Alec Burks. How frustrated are you going to be with that? Very, right? And then if you as a fan is frustrated with seeing Miles McBride only get those 6 minutes and he was cooking during those 6 minutes to see Alec Burks come back in the game, how do you feel how do you think Miles McBride is going to feel? You know what I'm saying? I think what we have to do is in a perfect situation, people want us to win a championship and have rookies contributing at the same time. And it just don't work like that. Like when you saw the Bulls teams of the 90s, once they got their core, they were like, damn, the rookies. They don't care nothing about no first round picks. Once they got Jordan, Scott Pippen, Horace Grant as their core, They're like, we don't need no more rookies. All we need is vets. I'm sorry. Once they got, who was it? Jordan, B.J. Armstrong,
Pippen.
Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and I think Paxson.
Was it Bill? No, Bill. It wasn't. Bill Winnington. Was it Bill Winnington at the time?
Was it?
No,
Bill
Cartwright.
Yeah, they got Cartwright from us. Yeah.
If
They got Cartwright from us for Charles Oakley. But once they got their core, we don't need no more rookies. What we need rookies for? You know what I'm saying? They was like, yo, we gonna trade away these first round picks and we're gonna bring in vets that support Michael Jordan. Period. Vets that support Scottie Pippen. Right? I think in our case, our market is different. Julian Blum says the way Miles play, you think Burke's gonna hold that spot? But that's respectfully, Julian Blum, respectfully, that's not the question here. The question is what do you do if you pick the direction, if you say go with the kids? Because if you say play the kids, then there is no Alec Burks. Mm-hmm. You can't use Alec Burks no more. You know what I'm saying? You got to put Quentin Grimes in the Alec Burks role, right? You can't use a veteran professional off the bench like that no more. You got to play the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because these vets, they care about themselves too. They want to win just like everybody else. They want to stay in the NBA just like everybody else. Right? And so what I'm saying is and that's a good question. So what I'm saying is if you play the kids, you know what? Should I pull up the spreadsheet? Y'all want me to pull up the spreadsheet?
Gonna throw it up there, huh?
So what I'm saying is if we do the youth movement, let me find it. Because we did a okay, I'm gonna fix it first and then I'll pull it up. I don't want to do that. Okay. Bim. All right. So right now in blue, you saw the starters at the beginning of the season, right? Kemba, Fournier, RJ, Julius, Nerlens. Or I'm sorry, I can switch these up. I don't know why I got. Maybe Mitch was hurt. Mitch was hurt.
Yeah, Mitch was hurt, and also Nerlens.
And Nerlens was hurt too. Yeah. So if y'all see what I'm looking at right here, if you take Kemba, right, and send Kemba to the bench. Oh, jeez, I didn't want to do that. Let me undo that. That didn't look the way I wanted it to. Where is my undo? Oh, there it is. There it is. I don't know why I missed it. So if you add Kemba to the bench, right, and put Miles McBride, Miles McBride here, you only got 48 minutes. Say you give him 25, right? That gives you 23 for your backup. You don't do you give Derrick Rose all 23 of these minutes? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you got to give Emmanuel Quickly minutes here.
Yeah, you got to give IQ minutes. That's your microwave.
Yep. I think you got to give Emmanuel quickly minutes there at point guard. Right? So if you give D Rose 20, that leaves 3 minutes. See, that's what I'm saying. Now quickly only get 3 minutes, and Kemba Walker gets 0 minutes at point guard. Now you got Kemba Walker wasting on your bench. Evan Fournier, right?
Now.
Yeah. And so what do you do with Fournier, Soulfinger?
Well, you know how I kind of feel about that. If you going to cut those minutes, you see this is the thing. Excuse me. With the politics of the game and that contract, you're forced to play him. Now we're saying, yeah, you're forced to play him, but since he's not producing and being consistent, you start him, but you can give someone you move some of that time you give him to somebody else.
Okay, so who's the somebody else?
Let's see who we got here. Let me see. I'm flipping to my other screen so I can see since I'm on my phone. Hold on. Because we got like so we are we still giving we're not giving Kemba minutes, right?
Nope.
Okay.
But all the point guard minutes are gone, because if you give Miles McBride 25, Derrick Rose 20, that means there's only 3 minutes for quickly, right? But at the same time, Miles McBride as a starter needs more than 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like you got Fournier. See that there you go. You're gonna have to push some of his minutes. You got to push some of his minutes over towards Kemba. I mean, excuse me, quickly, for sure.
Right. Hey, chat, help us do this, because this is the conversation, right? The conversation has been play the kids, and right. So we have the chart up here, right? So for instance, say okay, so Soulfinger, this is what I'd like to do at shooting guard. I would like RJ Barrett to move back to shooting guard.
Oh yeah, okay. Now let me ask you this, Breeze, because I didn't do this first. Are we able? What you're doing is, are we able to move it the way we want to get everything to roll? Forgetting the front office and the politics.
Yeah.
All right, because like I said, you got Deuce, you got D Rose.
Right.
I'm moving RJ back to the 2. It's like you were saying.
Yeah. So you got RJ at the 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett at the 2. And off rip, you already know RJ Barrett is getting 30, 35 minutes, 34 minutes. We'll say, for this, we'll say 33. But we already know RJ Barrett is going to get the lion's share of minutes, because you know he's going to play, right? So that means Quentin Grimes. You think Quentin Grimes gets the other 15 minutes? Is that what you want to do?
You know what?
At shooting guard, this is not his total minutes. He's gonna get minutes other places, right?
Yeah, I slide that over to him. That 15.
All right. So this is where the dilemma comes in.
Because I already know we got because then you still got Quickly, who kind of plays that 2 as well.
Yeah. So that means Quickly only gets 3 minutes a game, because Quickly's not going to play small forward, power forward, or center.
Yeah. So
you feel me?
Yeah.
So do you cut Derrick Rose's minutes?
See, that's a dilemma. I mean, currently, I'll probably take 5 off.
So if you take 5 off of Rose, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me do that over. So if you take 5 off of Derrick Rose, right? So you got 5 minutes left. Are you giving those to Quickly at point guard?
You know what? Yeah.
And so that'll give Quickly a total of 8 minutes.
8.
Right. 8 minutes at point guard.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so do you cut RJ Barrett's minutes at shooting guard and give him more minutes at small forward?
Yeah, I would reduce some of his time.
Okay.
Actually, I would reduce some of his time at the 2 period.
Okay. All right. So about how many? 5, 10?
Yeah, I'd take 5 off.
All right. So RJ Barrett, 28 minutes there, right? And you want
Mm-hmm.
to give those 5 minutes to Quickly, right?
Yeah, I'll try to slide those over to IQ.
All right. So that means Quickly gets 13 minutes a game, right? So who are you starting at small forward?
Small forward, I'm gonna go with Burks.
With Alec Burks. Okay. How many minutes are you giving Alec Burks as the starting small forward?
Give him about 20. Yeah.
Okay. So you give him about 20 minutes at small forward,
20.
right?
Yeah, about 20 to 25, keep it
All
kind
right.
of standard.
Let's say 25, and then that way we can always come back.
Yeah, we can, leave some room to mess around because we can move some of that move time around, just see how it sits before we start fleshing out. Because I know once we get to times and stuff, we're still gonna have to tinker with it, move it around.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because it's a lot of players left and a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
minutes.
Yeah, because we're talking about playing the youngsters,
Yeah.
and see the truth be told, as I'm looking at this, because you still got Evan.
Yep.
He's the one that's messing up the rotation on this. Because really, truth be told, if it was up to me, I'd get him up out of here. If you could get him up out of here, but it's the politics of the game. Because we're talking about a youth movement, then I would give Knox on the Knox stat in the off the bench.
That was the trick right there. What do we do with Knox? That was the. So what do you do with Knox? Is Knox the backup?
And if we're talking about doing a full on youth movement,
Yep.
I'll be pulling Knox right there at the 2 because
As a backup small forward, right?
as a backup small forward. Because in a perfect world, I'm trying to get rid of both. I'm looking at getting rid of Kemba and Evan.
How many minutes are you giving Knox?
So we got what?
We got 23 minutes remaining at small forward.
I'll give him about for right now, I'd say 15.
15. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So and you're going to give Grimes these other 8 minutes.
Yeah, or other 8 minutes I'll be splitting. I have to split them.
Okay. Ooh. Grimes is getting how many of these minutes?
Well, we got 8. I dropped 4 on Grimes and 4 on IQ.
Okay. Hey, Chuck Allen, what's good, baby?
What's good, What's good, Soul Fingers?
What's up, Chuck?
Yo, so hey Chuck. So what's happening is people have been telling us over the past few weeks to play the kids, right? But what we've been trying to explain to everybody is it's not as easy as play the kids because you want to get the kids minutes. At the same time, there are so many kids and so few minutes that you have to be careful about how you do the lineups because you have to balance development with one versus development with another. Because a few of these kids play the same position, right? Like RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes, yeah.
Right? Like Emmanuel Quickly and Miles McBride. Right? And so at small forward, we have at Soul Thing, you want to give Emmanuel Quickly minutes at small forward?
Oh, quick. Oh no.
Yeah, because you said split up the remaining 8
No.
minutes.
If you could take those minutes that you don't give him and slide them over there. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at trying to move some minutes around, but if you stick it within that, then I would give, like I said, the rest of that I just give it to Grimes. Then I get the rest of that to Grimes.
Get the rest of Grimes, okay.
Yeah, get the rest of that small forward to Grimes.
Okay. All right.
Because really, I was just trying to move around. You can play one less to give somebody more time. You have to eat into somebody else's time.
Right. Right.
But if you have it just as at that position, instead of moving the time around, because really, truth be told, you have to see how it plays out. Because I would like to get IQ more minutes.
Right, and even in that 3 guard scenario that you mentioned, that's still very small. Because
Miles
McBride, Quentin Grimes, and Emmanuel Quickly would probably be too small of a lineup to roll out consistently. So, the power forward minutes. How do you in the youth movement? How you want to do the power forward minutes?
Well, see, we already know Julius is pulling 35, 38 minutes a game.
Yep.
You know, and I would really, it may sound crazy. I would rather have Julius playing about 28 minutes a game.
Okay. Right. And what about Obi?
And the rest, I would have Obi out there 20.
Hey, can I make a suggestion?
Go ahead, please.
What I would do with the small forward minutes is give Obi 3 of those minutes, right?
At
From
small
Grimes.
forward, yeah.
Yep. Give him 3 of those minutes, right? And I'll show you what it'll look like, right? So
Yeah. No, you know what I'm saying, because like I said, for right now, you try to get it out because I figured after you put everything out, then we can start really adjusting, readjusting time and all like that.
Right. And here, what I would do is instead of giving Obi the 20 minutes here as strictly the backup power forward, what I would do is, hey Fish, what's good?
Salute.
What I would do instead of giving Randall 28 minutes here, what I would do is give Randall 25 minutes here.
Mm-hmm. And
right?
give and drop 3 down there on Obi.
No, what I would do is give Obi 15 minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Take 10 of these minutes, give Knox 10 minutes here. Right? And what that does is it creates
open it up.
Yeah. So what that does is it creates a situation where you could be more flexible here. Right? And now you got Burks, Knox, Grimes, Toppin. I'm sorry, I spelled Obi Toppin name wrong. But
we get what you're saying.
Yeah, and so let me move. Let me slide them down. Let me slide them down a little bit. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you would give RJ 25 minutes here, right? And now what that does is it gives you more minutes for Emmanuel Quickly there.
Yeah.
Right. And then what this does is you can give RJ like 7 minutes here, right? And then that way you can give Obi more minutes there, right? And if you do Randall, say 25 minutes here, and you give Obi, say 12 minutes here, and that way, 12, let me see. So that way you can give Kevin Knox minutes at power forward also. And you can give
keep him on the floor.
Yeah, so you can give him 8 minutes. Now RJ is still getting 33 minutes, but at different positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Obi is getting 18 minutes, but he'll probably wind up playing like 20 minutes, right? And what I'll do is Mitch will be the starter. I'm taking Noel out and putting Nerlens Noel. I'm not even entertaining.
Put Sims in that spot.
Right. That's what I was going to say, Jericho Sims. Hey, and everybody in the chat, this is not a done deal right here. This is just us spitballing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you give my man 15 minutes, right? And you give Julius Randle probably about 5 minutes here. And you give Obi 6 minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got Obi has a total of 6, 21, 24 minutes. 24 minutes a game, right? Jericho Sims is playing 15 minutes, and that's probably more than he deserved right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you got Julius playing 30 minutes. You got Mitch at 22 minutes. Knox is getting 15 minutes. RJ is getting 33 minutes leading the team. And now everybody, all your youngsters are getting minutes.
So this is without Fournier and Noel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think Fournier deserves minutes, bro. Not right now.
Not when you play 29 minutes and don't give you 2 points.
Right. So chat, tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think.
Because, like I said, just put it out there as a framework, and then now you can start tweaking the minutes on who can go where.
Hey, and so let me put my thing in here. Hey, Duke, what's good, bro? Shout out to Hadouken Sharon, man. He got the Hadouken Sharon's No Life Pod to come on in the afternoons, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man, and support my guy, man. That's our dude right there. Right. Hey, and Sherwin M says that's too many minutes for Obi. Y'all think that's too many minutes for Obi?
No, that's fine. Because again, we're playing. This is about a youth
minutes?
movement, right?
20.
I mean, I think
minutes.
Mitch should get. I think Mitch should get more minutes, and Sim should get. I mean, yeah, it's cool.
So Quentin Grimes in this scenario gets 21 minutes. Y'all fine with him getting 21 minutes?
That's cool.
What about McBride getting 25 minutes?
I think he should get like 17.
So who gets the other minutes then? Emmanuel Quickly?
Rose.
You want in a youth movement? You want Derrick Rose to get more? Oh,
this is like a.
This is for youth. If you're gonna reduce Miles, then you can slide something down to Quickly.
I mean, I still would want Rose to play.
Right. Yeah.
More minutes because I would want Rose still closing out the games in a sense.
Why would you want Rose to close out the game in a youth movement though? Wouldn't you want your young players to learn how to close out games? I'm just asking, just a general question. That's all.
I mean, yeah, but you're still trying to win though. At the same time, it's not like we're trying to.
But you can't be in two places at one time, bro. Like for instance, if you try.
No, I get what you're saying. I definitely get it. I 100% get it.
And so right. So what I would do is if my team is challenged late in the game, say for instance, we up by 5 with 4 minutes to go. The other team just went on an 8-0 run. They got the momentum, right? I can easily pull in a vet and run some sets to drain the clock and make them take tough shots. Or I can leave the vets on the bench and have my young guys try to fight through this momentum swing and learn something. Right now, if I snatch the rookies, if I teabag the rookies in this scenario, they're not going to learn how to fight through adversity. What they're gonna learn is every time trouble happens, call on the vet. We go sit and the vets handle it for us.
Well, and also it depends. This would be like a standard go by what you would go framework, but then it would turn into situational because
right.
This
That's what I was just
say
about
for
to say.
instance, say for instance, somebody's not somebody's off, or you need that. Because you need to put Rose in to get you that bucket if you want to do some ISO. Because truth be told, Derrick Rose is the best ISO we got right now, even though they use Randall. And if he's going in with fresh legs in the fourth, you save him for the fourth and you let it rock. Or it'd be a situation where you need to open it up and do more 3-point shooting, and you can have both Deuce, IQ, and Grimes in there, being that they would probably be the better shooters.
Right.
or yeah, or even Knox in that instance somewhere. It's just, you know, it's situation, and of course you're gonna be moving people around as per the situation.
Respectfully, I disagree. Right, and this is why. Right, and it's not to knock your point, because you're thinking as a team that wants to win every game, and not, you know, development be damned in that situation. What I do here, I'm leaving all the kids in, and I'm drawing up plays for these kids. Right. So so in that scenario where you said you need the 3-pointer, I'm running Cadillac. I'm running Cadillac for Grimes and Knox. I'm gonna put them in a Spanish pick and roll with McBride up top, having both of them set screens, right? And they're gonna pick one side of the box, and they're gonna go down the lane after they set the screen. And if McBride if these dudes go under on McBride, then McBride takes the 3 right there. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it from the young guys.
I got you, but the thing is we're gonna continue that play. So if they come over, if they stick with me, right, Knox and Grimes go to threaten the rim. If the lob is not there, if they take away the lob, they cut out to the corners, and it's my choice to pick out which corner to kick that ball to, depending on who's open. If Knox is open in one corner, I'm kicking it to Knox for the open 3-point shot. I can trust Knox in the corner for 3, right? And Grimes, I can trust Grimes in the other corner for 3. But what I'm not going to do is if I need a 3-point basket right here, take these young kids out, put the vets back in, have them attempt the 3 and miss, make a miss. Either way, the kids failed in that scenario. Either way, if I take the kids out, they get an F grade, because I had to take them out. I had to rescue them because they faced adversity and they couldn't handle it. So now I'm putting them on the bench. And when they come to the bench, Tibbs is going to cuss them out like a dog. Why y'all told me I was ready. And now if you the coach, you're not putting your young kids back in because they faced this adversity and they wasn't ready for it. Now the kids got to prove all over again that they up to the challenge, and we might see them in 4 games.
Nah, see, that's not how. I mean, that's how you're thinking of it. I guess we're all thinking about it in a different way.
Yeah, we thinking about it. Yeah, because you thinking about it in a utopian way. I'm thinking about it as a Tom Thibodeau is our coach way.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I am
but
too.
I'm looking at it like that too. But I'm willing to let the youngsters go out there, and hey, if they mess up and fall on their face while it's going, then hey, they fall on their face.
They did it together.
They did it together. That's what I'm looking at with the whole lineup. I mean, like I said, if you want to put it, and I said it depends on the situation. If I had if IQ is off, IQ's having one of his off nights on shooting, do I want to insert him in, or would I insert like a Knox? I can always bring in Deuce, Grimes, and Knox, one of the 3, or something I want to use. And the reason I said D Rose, you can use him as a decoy, or you can use somebody to break him off, break him down, and actually penetrate. Right. And granted, he's not really known. He can pass, but he can get to the rack. But you got somebody like a Obi or Mitch or Sims or Lob, something. So it's just whatever situation. It just depends on the situation, who you want to put in. But if you want to just keep it strictly the youngins, no vets, then yeah, I wouldn't put Rose in either. I just say, hey, we get all my youngsters, and this is how we're gonna close it out. If we win, we win. Hey, good job.
And if we lose,
hey, film on Monday. Let's see what we did wrong.
Yep, that's what I'm. So, Fish, you came in at.
If that's the case, then why even play?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
I won't say why even play Rose, even the 15 minutes. Then, if that's the case.
Well, that's the reason why that's the reason why he got 15 minutes instead of 20 or whatever minutes is because. If you're gonna and my apologies, bro, because what we did was we prefaced it beforehand, like before you jumped in. Mm-hmm. We were saying you got to pick one direction and go, right? And in this scenario, like what we were talking about is this one option. If we gonna take this option, we're gonna go all in on this one option, right? It's not gonna be just do an ISO Randall to bail you out. This is. If y'all want to play the kids, we're gonna go all in with the kids because and I know I beat a dead horse, bro, but I don't feel like you should be teabagging these kids, right? In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Like you make one mistake, I might not see you for 3 games. Nah, that ain't fair, right?
Nah, but what I do can see though is bringing them along, like slowly, like you know what I mean, like not trying to rush it too much, but still let them play, like you know what I mean, let them play through it or let them play through their struggles sometimes, but we don't have to resort to that. I guess because I'm not thinking about it as a total youth movement either though, because I did miss that part of it as well.
Yeah, because we were talking, and it's the reason why we did put the depth chart.
Because I just now I forgot that Fournier and Noel not even in the rotation as well right here either.
Yeah, Kemba, Noel,
Right.
and Fournier are not in the rotation. Just the way we got to sit if you're gonna go in with a whole, because I asked the same thing when we were setting it up. Because to do a youth movement like that, you're gonna need vets. You need a vet.
Yeah.
But Kemba and Fournier, they don't fit, and really their presence on the team throws off in our actual team. Their presence throws off what could be the direction we could possibly be going.
Right. And so the reason why, and I didn't mean to sound snippy, bro. Don't get. Y'all know I man, yeah. Listen, y'all know I love y'all, man. So I didn't mean for it to come off so aggressive. But what I'm saying is in the youth movement, bro, you got Soul Finger. You ever taught a teenager how to drive?
Yeah, we're doing and working on that right now, as a matter of fact.
And you know how when they be so nervous behind the wheel, and then when traffic start coming, they start looking at you like, we gonna drive right here? You don't want to just take over right here and let me get on a clear road? No, you got to drive right here, young person. You got to learn how to handle it, and people gonna be blowing their horn and driving by you fast. You know what I'm saying? But you got to learn how to handle it. And so what you don't want to do is every time you teaching a young person how to drive and it start raining, you don't want to stop the car and put them in the passenger seat.
Yeah,
they got to learn how to drive in the rain. They got to learn how to drive at night. They got to learn how to drive in traffic. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't want to do that with our kids, like, and I'm gonna use Fish for example, right? And he know this ain't me throwing shade at him because Fish is my guy. I love Fish, right? But like in Fish scenario, every time adversity comes, you want to take the kids out and put the vets back in. Like when it start raining, when it get dark, when traffic come, hey, get out the passenger seat and get out the driver's seat and sit in the passenger seat. I'm gonna drive right here. I'm gonna get you to a clear, straight road with no turns in it, no traffic. But in my opinion, the kids don't learn from that. Like if you got Soul Thing, if you got the bit, I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna use Soul Finger and his baby for an example. I'm the coach, right? I'm gonna bring Soul Finger up top. Soul Finger gonna set the screen. I'm gonna be like, hey, no matter what happened, make sure your belly button is facing the rim, right? No matter which side, and make sure your outside hand is up, right? Right, your belly button and chest facing the rim, outside hand up after you set the screen, right? When I come around the screen, if you do one thing wrong, you out of the play. If you're facing the wrong way, you out of the play, right? Period. Because I ain't got time for you to try to adjust and turn back around and reset and all that stuff. You should know better, right? Because we already worked on this in practice. It's fundamental stuff. But if you do what I told you to do, and you the defender on your hip, I'm a touch pass the ball over your defender to your outside hand. That way, all you got to do is catch, keep the ball high, and hit it off the box. Right? So when the time comes, we drop a play in a late game situation. We run the Spanish pick and roll, just like I mentioned. 2 guys up top, they set the screen. One goes this way, the other one goes that way. If you did a fundamental thing, if they come if they come around the screen, my first option is to get you the ball, and you know that because you looking back at me and you see the defender's back is closer to you than it is to me. You know the pass is coming, so I'm throwing the ball over the top. All you got to do is bank it off the box, and we good, right? But you got to put the kids in them circumstances, bro. You can't just say, we had a 13-point lead. They cut it to 5 with 4 minutes left to go in the game. I got to sit the kids now and just play Randall, Fournier, Burks, Rose, and Nerlens Noel because the kids couldn't hold the lead. They got to be able to fight through that.
Nah.
What do you mean, Fish?
No, I was saying like you can't pull them.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. You don't want to teabag them, bro. Every time the waters get choppy, you teabag them. You don't want to do that. You feel me? Because it hurt everybody confidence. It hurt the franchise confidence in the kids. It hurt the kids' confidence in themselves. It hurt the coaches' confidence in these situations. Everybody's confidence is shaken because you have to replace them. And now you start asking questions like, well, are these the right kids?
And see, you know what? And I'm glad you said that, Freeze, because let's be honest. Our organization has a history of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. So anybody. So I have a son that played. I have a son that played basketball. Right. He a big dude. Right. He's like Ben Wallace. Right. And so he have no hands. He couldn't catch. Right. Catch clean, which is weird. But he could rebound. Like one game at the Rec, he had like 55 rebounds in the game, bro. 55. They came and told him, he was like, yo, Rock had 55 rebounds. I was like, what? Rock had 55 rebounds in a game? In high school, he had like 30 rebounds in a game. You like, what?
Killing the boards.
30 rebounds? Because he a big dude. He out there like the Hulk. Like he wasn't the tallest. He wasn't the tallest, but all them 6'10", all them 6'8", 199 dudes out there, they was bouncing off him like a bug on a windshield. You know what I'm saying? And my man is like 6'4", like 270. And dudes like, the skinny dudes are just hitting him and falling on the floor. And the ref can't call foul because he ain't did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's just a big dude. But my point is this. With these kids, bro, you got to let them play through all these situations because even if they don't succeed with a W, they succeed with experience. You know what I'm saying? So we'll wind up losing if you go through youth movement. We're gonna lose a lot of games, but these cats gain valuable experience going forward. Right? You in a way you kind of want them to lose because if they get too much success early, means it affects how much success they get later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Golden State had to get their hearts ripped out for years and years and years before they got over the hump. Same thing with Toronto. Had to get their hearts ripped out for years and years and years before they got over the hump. The same thing with the Milwaukee Bucks. Right? Y'all remember Giannis' face when my man hit that I mean not Giannis, but Joel Embiid face.
Oh, when Giannis hit him?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's when Giannis was on tour giving everybody the blues. Everybody had the boo-boo face.
Right. And so you got to go through a measure of growth first before you get real victories. You know what I'm saying? So if you on board for play the kids, you got to understand losing is going to be a part of the process. Right? But the thing about it is if you are all in on the kids and the kids start losing, you can't pivot and be like, yo, you tired of losing. Right? Because you don't want to be that fan base that does that. Let's do a rebuild. And then as soon as the kids start losing, You're like, yo, we need to see if Devin Booker's available. Nah, man. And so if I and Soulfinger, while I've been doing this, I ain't gonna call no names, right? But it's people in our chat that when we first started doing it, when we first came on the air, they was like, Randall's a bum. And then Randall made the All-Star team. He was like, Randall's my favorite player. I bought the Randall City Edition jersey for my wife.
Yeah.
And then Randall regressed. And now they like, trade Randall, he a bum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the same thing, they was like, RJ Barrett can't shoot, he a bum. I wish we got Ja. And then RJ Barrett was making threes, and they was like, RJ Barrett might be the next Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, yo, just be even keel with it. You can't, it can't be all or nothing for Knicks fans. It's the reason why I be sounding like a wet blanket all the time. It's not because I don't love the Knicks.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's understandable because you've gone and you spoke your mind. You spoke from your heart and your mind,
right.
And you've taken shots and everything. So it is what it is when you put it out like that. But as always, you can never come. You will never be able to please everybody, because like you're saying that it was one time I remember people calling Randall King of New York. Now he's a bum.
Yes.
Wait. Let me correct that. The only person said that was Fat Joe. And I almost kicked the TV over when he said it. Like, yo, no. He's not the king of New York. Not now, not ever. He's just getting it done for right now. But I understand that sentiment. Like people was like, yo, Randall's that guy. He's finally New York has got a guy that they can rest the city on their shoulders.
Right.
And I still don't think they're wrong. I don't think they're wrong now that he's struggling. You know why I don't think they're wrong? Because I think now he realized, I don't have to do it all by myself now, because he had that. I started to see that mentality, like, well, I got to do it. And if I don't do it, it won't get done.
Right.
But now seeing that you have some guys and that you can trust, because granted, Randall was sitting the bench for a minute while the youth was out there in Houston. And when he did get inserted in the game, I'm like, okay, let me see if he's going to go nut as soon as he touched the ball. What'd he do? Give it back to the guy, set up the offense, move. I was like, uh-oh, we might have something if this continues. Where he wants to be a part of the offense and not the offense.
Right.
Because that is a lot for anybody. Only certain individuals are built for that. The Kobe's, the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the Kevin Durant. Certain guys, everybody's not built like that. Some people just need to be able to fit in, play their role, and dominate in their role.
Right. I'm gonna take this thing down, but I'm gonna have it, for us. Ethan, what's good?
What's good? What's up, y'all?
Hey,
salute.
How you doing?
What's going down, Ethan?
I'm good.
Ethan, let me do your introduction first before you start talking my head off, bro, because I know you got a lot to say. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the future ESPN top 50 shooting guard out of New York City, 6'5", representing Queens. Ethan, what's good?
What's good? What's up, y'all?
Bro, did you get a haircut yet?
I did, but I'm gonna need to get another one.
Bro, stop being a slacker, bro. Yo, it's supposed to be business first. No, I'm just messing with Ethan. What's good, bro?
Yeah, what's up? I just got back. So what we are talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about this. So we were having the conversation around Knicks universe is this, right? Play the kids. That's been the conversation, right? And so we get pushback from a lot of different entities. I saw it in Knicks Film School. Has it going on? I think Nothing But Knicks has it going on too, where the fans are like, play the kids, trade Randall, trade Fournier, and just go with the youth movement, right? But this is coming from the most impatient fan base in professional sports.
Right.
Right? And so if you do what the fans tell you to do and go with a youth movement, how long is it going to be before the fans turn on the youth movement and say, go get us Devin Booker? And oh, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. I got after.
Because what happened is I'll give you an example. So there was a Kristaps Porzingis rebuild, right? Where it was Porzingis, you had Frank, Dotson, a few other players, and all we had to do was just add certain pieces, right? Like the Dallas, the rumor was the Knicks wanted to trade up to get this kid at the time called Luka Doncic. Nobody, they thought he was good. They thought he was going to be a savant or whatever. But I'm sorry, not Dallas, but Atlanta's asking price was so much that the Knicks didn't want to give up their first round pick the following year, which would have been RJ Barrett, right?
Guess what?
But
you should have done that trade.
But yeah, I mean, hindsight is 2020. But you know what I'm saying? But the Knicks are like, no, we don't want to give up that pick because that pick might wind up being Zion. Right. So, but the thing is they never added the pieces to Porzingis, and then they wind up trading Porzingis. Then you sign Julius Randle, and you're like, well, we have this 24-year-old power forward who never really got a shot in limited minutes. He's ultra productive, and he's a double-double per 36, right? And all this stuff about Julius Randle. And the thing is, the same thing they said back then is the same thing they say now. He can be great on defense if he try. He can be a great rebounder if he try. And his attitude sometimes is you don't know if he wants to do, but all the stuff they said back then is the same stuff they say now, right? So now you're like, well, we're gonna start our rebuild with this lottery pick, and the lottery pick wound up being Obi Toppin. But then Julius Randle comes out and makes the All-Star team. The team makes the playoffs. And now you're like, okay, what do we do with this rebuild? We have RJ and Obi. What do we do with this rebuild? Because in the previous rebuild that we cut short, we have draft bust Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, Damian Dotson, Mitchell Robinson, whole bunch of Iggy Brasdakis. What do you do? Right now, and if you fast forward, now you say, well, play the kids, let's do a rebuild. And it's centered around RJ, Grimes, McBride, and whatever. What do you do now? Are you going to be patient while this team goes 31-51? Maybe. You think the Knicks fan base can be patient while they go through that, or no?
No.
So the thing is, I agree with I'm in the middle because you should play the kids, but to an extent, right?
Okay.
It's like Steve Kerr is the best coach in basketball, in my opinion, but he's also one of the worst rotational coaches in the league.
Right.
So the thing is that, yeah, you can be bad rotations, but if you just develop a system that's just so proficient, that it won't matter. You can run anybody in that Warrior system; they'll be great. So it goes to the same thing with the rookies. Tibbs, he's probably not gonna like it. He just needs to expand the rotation.
Right.
He needs to start running an 11-man. He needs to start running a 12-man in certain situations.
Why? Why though?
Because Fournier gives you no value, even if you don't want that. Fournier will give you no value. Fournier definitely gives you no value. You have Randall, right, who he can still give 30 minutes a game, but those 6 minutes need to be split between Knox and Obi. And all the other dudes that you have surrounding them, the non-pieces like Grimes and McBride, who aren't in the rotation and who are getting minutes now, they're deserving of at least 15 to 20 minutes a game. We just need to cut little off of everybody to fulfill those minutes requirements.
Okay.
And another thing about like the whole fact of going young, right? And how this rebuild that the front office wanted to do started, they drafted 2 limited players in RJ and Obi because no matter like and same thing with Grimes and McBride to an extent, is that these aren't players with extremely high ceilings who are just untapped potential. They have ceilings on them. So if you wanted to start a full-out rebuild, you should have drafted players where they have nothing but upside.
How did you like Josh Christopher last night?
In the Knicks game?
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah. Bro, hey, man. I'm just saying.
You saw what Kessler Edwards did for the Nets?
Bro, I'm just saying. But what I would say to you though is this: if you go youth movement, man, I say go in on the youth movement. Period. Right.
Yeah.
I would say, go all in. And so here's the thing: I wouldn't go with a youth movement this year because the roster's not primed for a youth movement. Because you got too many vets that need minutes, and I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of something that I would do. Right. I would package all these vets and send them to Houston for John Wall and a first-round pick. Right? Now, with that said, do I intend to play John Wall? No, because the asset that's the most valuable to me in that trade is the draft pick. Right? And so what I would do is, hey, yeah, I'll take on John Wall's humongous contract, and I would give you Noel, Fournier, and whoever else it takes to match the money if you're giving me a draft pick. That way, instead of trying to trade John Wall contract, you can try to trade off smaller contracts like Nerlens Noel and all of them, and then that way we get a valuable asset in return. Right? And they get freedom, right? Because they ain't gonna play Fournier knowing they got Jalen Green. You know, to Josh Christopher. They could just do whatever. It just gives them flexibility. Now, what I would do is if we go on youth movement, come the summer when the season over, I'm trading everybody, bro. And listen, I love Randall. I love Randall as a man. I think the reason why I love Randall is not because of what he does on the floor, but I think because he's a great human being. Right? That's the reason why I like Randall. And that's why I think the front office like Randall. Right? Mm-hmm. And so what I would do is trade Randall to a destination that he want to go. Like, you still want to be the franchise player, bro? I'll see if I can get you your own franchise. I'll just do you that solid because you did us a solid, right? You came here, you was a cast off. They thought you was a bust, right? You came here and made the all-star team with us, and you represented us well. So I'll trade you somewhere, where you can. I'll see if I can get you to a San Antonio where you can get, or somewhere where you can get coached up, and I'll take the L. You know what I'm saying? In the return, because you did us a solid. But right now, we changing directions, and it ain't fair. Fournier and all them guys, I'm just shipping them cats off. And so that way, when I get, so who's gonna be the number one pick in the draft, bro?
Paolo.
So when we get Paolo, right?
We ain't getting Paolo.
I know. I'm just saying.
I don't even want Paolo.
Because we already got a power forward. I got you.
We got way too many. And it's the thing with this draft. It's just like a bunch of power forwards and centers, and yeah. I don't want half of them. They all look like they won't be anything big. And the one player who I think has the highest ceiling in this draft is just so raw, and that's Jabari Smith. Like, he's like the best shooter. He's like a 6'9" wing who just can do everything, but he's just so raw. So yeah. It's a weird fit. But
who's his NBA comp? Who's his NBA comp?
For Jabari Smith?
Yeah.
I have no clue. Like, honestly, I have no clue.
Okay.
They have like some. I've heard some people say like a more mobile Jaren Jackson Jr. I've heard some people say Rashad Lewis. I was like, yeah, I have no clue. But this draft is just a weak draft class to me. So, like, even if you get some picks in this draft, I trade them all for next year's draft.
Right.
But I can get on what you're saying about trading Randall. I think we do need to trade Randall, but I think you need to wait till the offseason to do it.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned though. Wait until the
You need to
offseason.
wait till the offseason to do it. You can trade him to Dallas. I think if he's gonna go anywhere, it's gonna be Dallas or New Orleans.
Right.
Because there's already reports of the Zion's just like he's just not happy there.
Right.
So go get Zion, like do the rehab thing with him, whatever. Put him around a bunch of doctors, or send him home to Dallas.
Yeah.
So like there's always that bunch of options, but I just think that with the direction that we're gonna go, and even if you get like a Dame or a superstar like that, you're gutting your whole team, and you don't even have the supporting cast to win with that.
Right.
So the wise choice if you were the Knicks is to trade Randall, get assets, dump Fournier for whatever you got. You don't like just give the rookies and the young guys just a bunch of minutes. You slowly grow them into that.
Right.
You let them earn the minutes first, because you threw minutes at Frank and Knox, and look what that happened.
Right.
So like you can have like you can still have some vets on the floor. Like you keep D Rose, you keep Taj, you keep I don't know, like Alec Burks or something, or whoever you want. You get like a Robert Covington this offseason to teach like defensive principles. You just work them through it, and then maybe 2 to 3 years down the line, the rookies can be pushing towards a playoff berth.
Right. Right. And so I love Rocco, but is Rocco washed?
Yeah, like some games he looks like he's just washed.
I think they're a match. I think Portland's coaching is terrible.
Chauncey is just like not the fit for them.
Yeah, not at the moment.
It's just a defensive scheme wise, because they play so much. Like they try to trap a lot.
Yeah,
like early in the season they tried to trap off the pick and roll, that didn't work, and now they're trying to do trap coverage with Nurkic, and that's not working either.
No.
So I just think that they have a bad like defensive team.
Yeah.
So you can always gut the team, and you'll always be able to find veterans who can help your young players learn. It's just that's just how it's always been.
Right. Hey, Rui Hachimura, are you interested?
Yeah, but Washington's not going to give him up.
Get out of here. Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure they won't give him up, because the only reason he's been out is because of personal issues, and I just don't think.
He had those personal issues going, and he's a decent player. You know.
You saw what?
Go ahead, Ethan.
Oh, so no, I was gonna change the topic. Go ahead.
Oh no, only thing is, I would actually gut it out with Randall. It's just me personally, because I mean it just depends on who's around him, and it's duly noted. It's the cold conversation or controversy. Randall isn't the number one, but he's our number one. He's a number one on any other team, a contending team. He wouldn't be the number one. He'd probably be the 2 or the 3. So we get that as duly noted. I just I wouldn't really go for Zion in the trade. Granted, he's number one and all stuff with all the injuries. In 3 years, he's only played a total of 88 games. And I know he's unhappy because it was duly noted he wanted to come to New York. Everybody knows that. You saw it on his face. But for me, it's health. Because I keep thinking, when I think of Zion, I start going back to Antonio McDyess. That's what I keep thinking of when I think of Zion.
Right. Man.
Yeah, it's like a weird fit, because even if you try to trade Randall, there's only a certain amount of teams who would be able to take on a player like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring up a team like San Antonio, but San Antonio is doing some crazy stuff over there, and I don't think people are realizing it. I don't think people are realizing how like crazy of that Joshua Primo pick was, and how it's looking up for them, considering that he was 6'6" and playing 17-year-olds in college, and now they have like there's reports out that he's going to be growing up. He's gonna keep growing, and he's gonna be 6'9" by next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the kid from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they're trying to run like this multi-ball handler offense with no point guard. So DeJounte Murray is probably up for the block for anybody who wants to go get him. And like back to the Wizards thing, they have Hachimura, but even they drafted Avier the year after, who's literally like the best perimeter defender in basketball this year statistically.
Right.
They'll have 2 lockdown defenders next to Bradley Beal if they ever had the choice. Next to Bradley Beal and Spencer Dinwiddie, who are 2 offensive juggernauts.
Right.
So if they ever wanted to, they can always just like rock out with that as a closing lineup. And they're trying to make a push for the playoffs this year. So
yeah, you talk about the Wizards.
Yeah.
And they also have the other 6'8" kid, right? The shooter. 6'7" kid. Kispert.
He's not much of a defender though.
No. I mean, I'm talking about at that forward rotation.
Yeah, forward rotation. They got him. They got KCP and Kuzma.
Yeah. So aside from Kispert looking like Roger Federer, I think the kid is going to be a baller. I think he's going to be a baller, man. Defense is not going to be his bag, I don't think. But the dude's court awareness is phenomenal, bro.
He has great court awareness. It's just that how well can he develop his handle? Because if he can develop his handle, he'll be a good player for 12 years. It's just that if he develops his handle and he's able to do a little bit of on-ball creating, he'll be a starting wing in this league for a long time.
He is an excellent relocator.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and for those that don't understand what I mean by relocator, it's when your point guard is handling the ball, the defense shows you stuff, and Kispert is laser radar locked in on the point guard's body positioning. So when the point guard has to throw the pass, Kispert is always in a place where there's a good angle to pass the ball to him.
Yep.
Right. And so what people don't, excuse me, the difference is, I'll give you an example. Kevin Knox is terrible at it. Terrible at what I just mentioned, right?
Right.
And no knock on Knox for that, because some of it is intuition and some of it is fundamental. So if you're not taught these fundamentals early, your intuition doesn't
kick in.
Yeah, and so the thing about it is, when you're an athlete, you don't pick up on the fundamental stuff because you can out jump somebody. You know what I'm saying? In Kispert's case, he probably knew early on that he wasn't going to be able to out jump anybody. So he had to be smarter than everybody. Like, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give you an example. If Kispert played with Chris Paul, Kispert would be a deadly weapon, right? I mean, a deadly weapon, because Chris Paul, not only, I'm not saying for Chris Paul getting in trouble, but Chris Paul will manipulate your defense so that you would attract to him, and you would give Corey Kispert wide open threes. And the last thing you want to do with a Corey Kispert is give him wide open looks at a basket.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird thing with him though, because his stock dropped a lot.
Yeah.
Because when you watched him in the tournament, he was just getting run off the floor.
Yeah.
And when you watched him in that Baylor game, he just couldn't move because they were just roughing him up every time he tried to move off the passing lanes. But if he's playing, but that's the difference between the NBA, is that the NBA is just so emotion fluent offense, and it's a star driven league that it's not every play is scripted to a degree, so he can still do what he wants. Right. So like his stock dropping in the draft was like, yeah, it was tough, but he's in a system now with Washington where they run a lot of motion, and then he'll be fine. Yeah.
How do you like motion offenses?
It depends. It depends on who tries to run it. Like the motion offense that the Knicks run is horrible.
Yeah.
The motion offense that, I wouldn't say Phoenix. That's a bad example. What else?
Yeah, because Phoenix runs a lot of high pick and roll.
The motion offense that Dallas runs, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's horrible. The motion offense that the Heat run is beautiful.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they brought Gabriel Vincent and that other kid, Max Strauss, in from the G League. They bring him in today, and they both dropped 27 and 32 just because they don't know how to shoot and they can play in the offense.
Right.
Yeah, it's like simple things like that. And then if you just have constant movement without the ball, you paid Duncan Robinson $90 million, but you paid him $90 million for the threat of him being on the floor.
Right.
That's like what most of that money goes towards. And like it's a weird, you can't compare motion offense to the Warriors. That's like on a different level. That's different stratosphere. That thing took 5.5. Chris said that even after that Warriors game, he decided to revamp that whole offense, and then he let that first year without Steph, he just let them learn it, and he let them screw it up as much as they wanted. So you can't even say that. But the Knicks, Dallas, those motion offenses are trash because you have a main primary ball handler, and your secondary ball handlers aren't good creators or space creators. So
right. And I'm glad you mentioned that. The space part in the creation is the most important part. The reason why you run the motion is not just to create shots for one person, but to create space, to create driving lanes, passing angles, and open shots for all 5 guys on the floor.
Mm-hmm. And do you know who's actually been underrated this year in creating space? I didn't see it coming. Tre Mann. Tre Mann this year has been amazing creating space, and I thought he would have just been a guard who could create off the pick and roll. I've seen him break down his defenders this year and create so much space that it's insane.
Bro, don't get me started, man.
And then you got like dudes like Herb Jones, like going 40th in the draft, and like they're starting and they're playing with the highest IQ basketball that I've seen, higher IQ basketball that I've seen any Knicks player play with this year.
Right.
It's stupid.
I think Herb Jones is going to be special, bro.
He's going to be nice. He has no offensive game, and he's doing what he's doing.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so Troy Split says dribble handoffs the only motion we run. Well, dribble handoffs that's not motion. That's not a motion offense.
That's not a motion offense. It's
the
movement that we're doing, and that's the movement that we're actually moving because you see the way we set picks, you see the way the players move, and yes, we don't move to a degree, but the offense is set to a degree where it allows for backdoor cutters. We just don't have the back. Fournier is not a great
cutter at all.
He's not a great cutter. Yeah, I was trying to say something instead. He's not a great cutter. RJ's a okay cutter to a degree. It's just that we don't have the creator to hit our players in lanes.
Right.
And we don't even have the big to be an offensive threat. So even when he sets the pick at the top, he just opens up a little bit of a lane.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's the thing that we mentioned in a motion offense, what you want to do first, and coaches differ on this because coaches are like, depending on the coaching style. So most coaches, I'll say 60% of the coaches want to threaten the court horizontally, like spread the court out horizontally for driving lanes from anywhere on the floor. They don't want to spread the court vertically for 28-foot 3-pointers. Right. I think, in my opinion, I think you should threaten the rim. Right. Every defender, all 5 defenders should be worried about giving up a dunk or getting backdoored. Right. And what that does is it keeps them home a little bit more so that you get driving, so you can stretch the floor horizontally. Right. The Knicks don't do that. For one, we don't cut hard. And 2, when you have point guards like Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickley, even if you do cut, even the most fundamental, and I just talked to Soul Thing about this, the most fundamental of cutting is having the point guard be able to read your jersey, have your outside hand up, regardless of what side of the floor you on, or what side of the rim you on, making yourself a big enough target where the guard can pass the ball into that. We don't have dudes that do that, nor do we have guards that can make that pass. And I think they don't want to make that pass because they don't want to risk turning the ball over.
They don't want to risk turning the ball over, and they know even if they make the pass and the bigs get stuck, the bigs won't be able to do anything else except for turn over the ball themselves. Because if our bigs get stuck with the ball in their hands, they're done.
Right.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Right. Right. Yo, so who was this dude? State of the New York Knicks podcast.
You know, State. Come on, man.
Whoever this dude is.
Last league frequency with football for Ferguson. Yeah, that's true. They aren't a great cutting team, but the system that they use is for cutters. We just don't have a on-ball creator who can hit cutters.
Right. Most teams, Good. Well, for instance, when I talk about motion offense, what I like to talk about is the mid 2000s San Antonio Spurs, right? The team with Kawhi, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Boris Diaw, Tim Duncan, whoever, Tiago Splitter, Steven Jackson. That offense, bro. When you see these dudes, when you see Tim Duncan set a screen and goes to the basket, regardless where Steven Jackson is on the floor when he catches it, if he see Timmy hand, he throwing that ball right to his hand. Now, and if the defender, and think about this, say I'm gonna just draw it up with my imaginary chalkboard. So Duncan, right, goes this way to the rim. Steven Jackson comes back around this way to throw the angle. If the defender that's here sees Steven Jackson, spies Steven Jackson, and tries to come over to cut Tim Duncan, that means he left this off. The opposite corner is wide open for three, basically. So you can't cheat. You either got to give Tim Duncan the contested layup, or give up the three. And all that is not created by foot speed. It's created by motion in your offense. So you ain't got to be fast, or you don't have to be Michael Jordan to play in that offense. You just have to be determined in that offense, right? And so what happens is when you run offense like that and you get cats like Manu Ginobili wide open threes, they're gonna make you pay. So either you're gonna give up 20 points to three different dudes, or you're gonna give up 50 to Tim Duncan. Which one you want to give up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
San Antonio ran things like it looked like ballet the way they rolled that thing.
Yeah. And most nights people will be like, yo, instead of giving up 50 to Tim Duncan and getting demoralized, you know what I'm saying? We'll give up 20 apiece to Tony Parker, Ginobili, and Tim Duncan. We'll just let them get 20 apiece and live with the rest.
So we need to run more motions, more what's the word I'm looking for? Different parts of the offense have to be active and constantly moving for guys to get easier or the best shot within the offensive frame. Okay.
Right.
All right. So
it's that.
Do we have those guys? Because a lot of those San Antonio, like that stretch of San Antonio teams, like those guys their IQs were off the chart. Each individual player that they had that you can name from those, I say from 99 on up, like those were very intelligent players. Even some of those players end up being coaches, like soon after they retired and things like that. So, not downing anybody or belittling anybody, but do we have the offensive intellect to have guys to know, all right, when he moves here, I need to do this. If he stops right up here, then I need to know I can't go all the way across the court. I need to cut off my man and go towards the basket, or I need to fade a little more out to the 3-point line so that he can have a nice passing lane so that I can catch the ball in rhythm and shoot. Do we have guys like that?
Oh, you know what, Chuck? I bet I can. You know what? I can compare the motion offense to, and you might get it. You and everybody else out there might understand the way I'm trying to explain it, because it can be Ethan can explain it and it'll look different, and others can explain it. What I can Chuck, you ever seen teams run the wing tee in football?
Ran it all throughout high school,
bro. You remember the play buck sweep?
Yes.
With both guards pull, and
yes.
and you got right. So when you run in the buck sweep, right, and both guard, you can't have one guard decide not to pull, because because if he trip and fall down, the play is messed up.
Right, get caught from the backside or from the front side.
Right. And the thing is with buck sweep, you don't want the defense to set the edge, right? That's why you send a guard. That's why you send a guard out there on a backer instead of bobbing. And what people don't mean is bob, y'all, in football is back on backer, right? Running back blocking a linebacker, right? You don't want to bob out there. What you want to do is get a guard on a linebacker, right?
Right.
And for those that don't understand what that is, think about the video clip that you saw with Vince Lombardi. It's what Vince Lombardi drew up as buck sweep. When he said he gets a guard here, a seal here, and a seal here, and you run the ball up the alley, right? That is what Vince Lombardi drew up as buck sweep. And you call it different names depending on generations and all of that, right? But what you have to have is everybody in concert doing one thing for that play to be successful. And if everybody does their one thing, it's not a marginal success, it's a great success, right?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? If you run buck sweep, you are guaranteed just about, if you run successful, you guaranteed to get 10 yards in high school football, right? Right, you guaranteed to get 10 yards, basically. Because most high school teams don't have enough big guys to play stout defense, right? Of course, when you get to college level, it's different. You get the, NFL is different, whatever, but they still run it. So with the motion offense, with everybody in concert, right? You get open looks for dudes like, because you asked about IQ, right? Bruce Bowen was not the smartest and the most high IQ player, right? I'm talking about offensively. Defensively, he was a gem, right?
Right.
But offensively, Bruce Bowen at 6'5", 6'7", whatever he was, he couldn't handle. He wasn't a great passer. But he ran that offense. He knew where to be at. He cut hard. He did all those things. So when Tim Duncan flashed with his hands up, if the defense went over and double team, you could hit Bruce Bowen in a corner for 3. You feel me? That's what the Knicks don't do. Alec Burks ain't cutting hard because he feel like he should have the ball in his hands. Fournier ain't cutting hard because he feel like he should have the ball in his hands. But you notice when Kevin Knox played the other night, Kevin Knox cut hard baseline and dunked on somebody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? These dudes, it's about the person. These dudes are blown up shooting guards trying to play the 3, and they look like blown up shooting guards trying to play the 3.
So I think it's time to relieve some of those blown up shooting guards trying to play 3 and actually put a 3 in there, and actually look for a 3,
right?
To either start or back the one that you have up, because sometimes playing people out of position causes it's not a natural position for them. So I'm going to do what I'm used to doing. So if it's not cutting, it's always, trying to get the ball around the perimeter so I can make a move and do something. Then cutting is going to be the last thing on my mind, right? Because it's not a natural thing for me. Right. So I think we might need some roster alignment, like moving some pieces to get those guys right. To get those guys in here, because if you put the right pieces, if you have a system where it requires certain types of players, then you should get those types of players. Because if you try to do anything else, it's not going to come out. It's not going to come out right. Like if you making banana pudding, I don't care if you're not using Nilla wafers. If you're using some generic, it don't come out right whatsoever.
No, it don't. It don't at all. No.
If that box don't say Nilla, and I don't want none of that because it's not going to taste right. I don't care how much time you take with it. Well, I use this and I use fresh banana. Nah, it's not coming out right. It's not going to be what it's supposed to be. And so I don't think our offense is what it's supposed to be because we don't have those quote unquote the right Nilla wafers in there.
Right.
Oh, crazy. Trade Randall, Burks, and Noel for Pete. Like how you force that trade?
Right.
I don't know how you force that trade. Will we run up there with guns? Like y'all gonna make it happen? Leon gonna send some of his goons in tracksuits? Hey.
Tracksuit Mafia.
Yeah,
Yeah. like how do you force that trade?
Right.
Nah, brother, not vanilla wafers. They have to say Nilla. If they don't say Nilla,
Nilla.
N-I,
Yeah.
Nilla.
Yeah.
it's not gonna come out right. If it says vanilla
In
wafers,
the red
I'm
writing,
done.
if it ain't got the Nilla in the red writing,
Yes. No.
right?
No go.
Right. A lady made banana pudding for me, and she was like, "Yo, I made the cookies myself from scratch." I was like, "Oh hell, this ain't gonna be what I think it is." And it was okay, but it wasn't old school banana pudding, bro.
Right.
So, but to the point that you're getting at, Chuck, is what happened is Tibbs wanted to run a wide open 3-and-D offense at the beginning of the season. So we stacked up with dudes that could shoot the three. And then when teams closed out on the three, they couldn't do nothing else. We were a one-trick pony offense. Right? So when teams shut down that one trick, we had to go back to what we knew, ISO Randall.
Yep.
Right? And
Right.
when we went back to ISO Randall got shut down last year, right, in the playoffs, and people saw it, right?
Doing doubles and
Right.
triple teams, giving him exotic looks that he's never seen before.
Right. And so it's one of them deals now where we tried the one trick, it didn't work, right? And we went back to what we knew, they shut it down. Now what do we do? That's a hard question, right?
Oh yeah. It's a head scratcher question.
Yeah.
You draft a wing.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I go to New Orleans and see if I can get Trey Murphy and Herb Jones.
Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat. That's
I
also
would-
you draft a wing because if you look at it, we played some triangle last year. We haven't played any triangle this year.
Right.
Due to the fact, due to the fact we don't have a wing.
I saw Tibbs call. I saw Tibbs do this like come on, man. Like he was calling out a play in a triangle, right? Because the triangle is not the triangle. You don't just say.
You don't say triangle because there's like
You know-
87 different types of triangles.
Right. And then you have different variants off this type of triangle that you run. Right.
Right.
So Tibbs was like, "Yo, what are y'all doing?" And Randall was like, "No, I got a matchup." And Tibbs was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Yo, why don't you at least just, bro? For one, I hate the triangle, right? I hate the triangle.
Yeah.
But the triangle, but the thing that the triangle,
The triangle is only successful when you have the talent to run the triangle.
Right. And it could and by talent, you have to have high IQ players that know how to read 3 or 4 different things that a defense is doing at one time. Because if you miss out on one thing, you're gonna like was it last year when he tried to run triangle? Kevin Knox ran into Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin had a lob at the basket, and they ran into each other face to face, bam, like that. And Obi was like, "What the hell are you doing right here?"
And that goes into Phil's philosophy, right? He drafted Frank due to the fact that Frank was a high IQ player, and he thought that he was going to keep Melo. And if he kept Melo, he can run a triangle with Frank, Melo, and KP. And actually, theoretically, if we did it, it might have been able to work.
Yep. And because you had high IQ players, but like I always thought Damian Dotson was smart, but he was limited physically. Like he was a marginal athlete, but he was always hurt. So that made him look slower than he naturally was because the last 2 seasons he was there, remember he dealt with a severe shoulder injury the year before he left, which limited his handles. Huh?
And a calf injury, right?
Yep. And then the next injury the offseason, he injured his shooting shoulder, right? And they had to have surgery. And by the time he came, his shot was off because he didn't have time in the gym and he had to rehab his shit. So it was a bunch of stuff that went into the Damian Dotson thing. But what I'm getting at is you got to have high IQ players because Quickly read the play. Knox didn't. Obi read it. Knox and Obi ran into each other face to face on the block. Quickly had to throw up a floater. It was a brick, and they got out of the triangle, and then Knox went to the bench.
I remember that because I kept saying this is about to be a Shaq and the Fool moment. It's gonna be all over Shaq and the Fool.
Yeah, and we were screaming at the TV like, "What?" So when the play started, I was like, "Why is Knox on the box?" Right, and so the triangle, because the triangle is the triple post. They call it a triangle because that's what it looked like on video. When you look at when you watch video of the triangle, you have three dudes post. So it's originally the triple post offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened is Knox made it look like a square. So we like, no, what the fuck, Knox? What are you doing? Right? And then soon as Obi started cutting, get momentum, Knox cuts baseline. They run into each other, Quickly sees them run into each other, Quickly pull the ball back down and throw up a stupid floater and miss, and they take Knox out. And so, and listen, basketball players are gonna make mistakes, but bruh, come on, man, come on. And in a game you down by 7, you need a momentum swing. If Obi Toppin would have dunked that ball, we'd have been down by 5 with an Obi dunk and energy. Come on, bro, we might have been able to make a run right there. But instead, they go down, hit a 3, and we down by 10. What? IQJ says, lies. Kevin Knox didn't bump into Obi Toppin. Bro, are you serious? IQJ, come on, bro. Are you talking about somebody? Are you talking about something else? Okay. All right. Okay. I was gonna say, bro, me and Hoodie Cav, because Hoodie Cav blamed Obi on it. I'm like, how you gonna blame Obi on that? Obi was a cutter. What was Obi doing in the way? Nah, man. Knox wasn't even facing the basket, bro. He ran underneath the basket and was headed to a corner. And Obi had, man, listen, it's whatever. I ain't. Shout out to Hoodie Cav if he out there watching. So Ethan, what do we do, bro? What do we do from here?
We blow it up. We signed Daniel House.
Was he waived?
Yeah.
How big is Daniel House, bro?
6'7".
Okay. How old is he? 30?
I think he's like 20 something, 29. I'll look it up. He is 28. Yeah, that's on him. He'll forget to make a push. But like, if you want to make a push for playoffs, you do that trade for Miles Turner and you swap Fournier for Eric Gordon. That's my opinion. But I think you should just blow it up.
Wow.
Trade Randall, trade Burks, trade Fournier, trade Noel, blow it up.
Wow.
Because you're not going to win anything with the rest that you have.
Okay. I can see where you I can see where you're coming from with that. Let me ask you this, because Uncle Freezy asked this yesterday, and it's been on my mind for a minute. On this current roster, do we have our Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard type player on our roster right now?
Hell no.
Or a guy that is going to be that in the next year or two?
Hell no.
No.
Absolutely not.
All right then. So
that's what I'm saying.
So blow it up, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you think about it, I'll just go through my logic real quick. Like, if you think about it, you don't have that type of player. This draft is whatever. You get your pick, you trade it for next year, and then you just You rebuild the players that you have, the young guys you have. You keep them, you make them into good players, and then you just look for that dude. Maybe you develop one or two of these young players into all-star, but you have to go out and look for that dude. I tweeted today, the Knicks have never had that player where you're just like, wow, he's just better than everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So until you get that dude, you're not winning a championship because you see the way we might have the best All NBA first team that we've had this year than we've had in the past 20 years. Because each of these dudes, Curry, Giannis, Jokic, KD, you put them in any year, they make a run at top 2 in MVP.
Yep.
So that's just my thinking about it.
Bro, the reason why I asked that question is not to be unfair to Knicks fans, but to be extra fair to Knicks fans. Like, is it worth doing a rebuild if you don't have a crown gem? Right? Like the reason why Oklahoma City was successful is because they got
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, and not only did they get Kevin Durant, they consistently hit on draft picks, right? Like
Serge Ibaka,
right? Like the first time they hit was Nick Collison, because while Nick Collison was not a great scorer, he was an excellent team guy, culture guy, excellent screen setter, high IQ on offense and defense. He communicated stuff on defense to help that young defense get better, because Seattle was running gun with Kevin Durant, right? They was running gun up and down the floor, up and down the floor, up and down the floor, but they didn't defend nobody. But Nick Collison that's why they retired his jersey. It's not because he scored 30 points a game. It's because of what he did on the floor, like little stuff. Like no, KD, stay right there, because he knew. Like he would communicate stuff. Like when the offense drew up a play to draw out the shot blocker, right? He could grab Serge and be like, "No, don't go," and then Serge would stay there, and the ball would come exactly to Serge, because the offense was designed to have the shot blocker evacuate, but the shot blocker didn't evacuate. He was right there for the shot block, right? And it's what Reggie Bullock did for us last year. Like Reggie Bullock didn't jump high, didn't run fast. Right? He didn't have great handles. He couldn't pass. He couldn't catch. But what he could do is communicate. Like, no, Juju, no, don't go. You know what I'm saying? And Julius wouldn't fall for the pump fake. Instead, Julius would be in good position defensively and make a good defensive play. And then what happens is people notice this over time, and they're like, hey, this kid Julius Randle is a good defender. But he had help from Reggie Bullock. Now Reggie Bullock is gone. There's nobody to tell Julius when to go and when not to go. And then now when Julius don't go, people are like, oh, he lazy on rotations, right? And then when Julius does overcommit, they're like, why did he go over there when dude was going such and such? It's about like these dudes communicating, right? It's like me, Ethan, Chuck, and Soulfinger in a 2-3 zone, right? If I'm the man in the middle, if I'm guarding the rim, right, I'm communicating with all the other 4 guys. Like, no, don't trap the corner. Don't trap the corner, because I could see a cutter coming that way, right, to screen you if you cut, and then you get screened, and what it does is it creates a wide open look at the top of the key for 3, right? So I tell Chuck not to go. No, Chuck, don't go. Chuck, stay, right? That means Ethan can stay where he's at, and all we do is position our body to have the baseline and me and the baseline defend the guy. That's our natural double team, right? We use the baseline and one man as a natural double team, and now they don't get the 3-pointer at the top of the key. But if I didn't say that, we just sent a man over there. Both the dudes get screened by one person, which creates an open look at the top of the key. Now everybody is like, well, Ethan sucks on defense. Why did Ethan give up that 3-pointer? Right? And you like, bro, if I had communicated that to Chuck, then Ethan wouldn't have had to, you know what I'm saying, had to go over there to cover for Chuck. And now that wide open, The worst 3-pointer you want to give up is the straight on wide open 3-pointer from top of the key. Right? But we don't have a dude like that now because dudes don't communicate. That's what Nick Collison did for them. And that's what the Knicks are missing on defense right now. People think it's effort. Man, these dudes play hard, man. These dudes, the Knicks play hard, man. And they frustrated. And I don't blame them. They are frustrated because they play so hard and they're not getting the result that they wanted. Ethan,
Right.
you ever had that happen to you? You ever felt like you played a team that y'all were better than, and y'all losing to them, and y'all trying as hard as y'all can, and you're like, these dudes is a bunch of goons. Why are we losing to these goons?
It's either because you're doing something wrong, or it's the fact that you just got that random dude on the other team who just goes off.
Right.
It's like it's one of the, or it's the team where it's like they got 4 bums on the floor, but the other dude they got is just better than everybody else.
Yeah, even better than what you got on your team.
Yes, that one dude is better than everybody else on your team.
Yeah.
And you just got to take that pill.
Yeah.
Like when you play Kevin Durant, you got to deal with it.
Yeah. Like I don't know if y'all remember, but I had a dude on the show probably during the summertime, a dude named Reem Raw. Right. He lived in an area with me. We played it in an industrial league together, right? And everybody wanted me and Reem Raw, right? So Reem Raw is a scorer, right? They wanted me because I was a goon, right? They was like, I'm like, I got 5 fouls and I'm gonna use all of them. Now, and I used to tell people, they'd be like, Uncle Freezy, you can't tell me we can't dunk. And I'll be like, bro, if you try to dunk on me, I'm gonna break your wrist. You're like, man, you ain't gonna intimidate me. Well, come try to dunk, man. Right? And so the year before, Reem Raw tried to dunk on me, and that's my man, right? Reem, that's my dog. Reem, and he got the lane open up, like a dude tried to cut me low, and soul thing in industrial league, dudes play so dirty. Like a dude tried to cut my ankles, right? And in basketball, this is basketball, bro. Why you low crawling? Why you know what I'm saying? In basketball, because the dude wanted to get his boy a dunk. So I step over the dude and I see Reem Raw coming, and I cross body block him at the rim. Bam! Both of us, you know that padding that be on the wall behind
the goal, yeah,
behind the rim. Man, I hit Reem Raw in there so hard I could hear all the air coming. He's like, I'm gonna get you after this, Freezy. Wait till I get up. And so I help him up. I was like, dog, didn't I tell you we ain't dunking? And he like, man, why you ain't let me dunk? I'm like, bro, you not dunking on us, bro. I'm just saying. So but anyway, the point that I'm getting at, that I'm getting at is this. The Knicks don't have neither of those. They don't have a dude that's going to intimidate you at the rim or communicate. Like the reason why they wanted me to be on the team because I could call out offenses. Like one of my best basketball skill is I could diagnose offenses, right? That's my skill. Like when I see the point, your point guard get the ball, I know what offense you running, and I could predict where guys gonna go on the floor. So I be telling dudes, no, don't go. And then I be telling them, don't hedge right here, don't hedge right here, because what they want to do is reverse the ball back this way to get a shot, to get an open 3 off. Don't hedge, just stay with your man. And I be calling out like, no, soul finger, no, don't hedge. And I'll be like, Ethan, show. And you know what I'm saying? Could say that on the back so I could help our team win, even though I was gonna finish the game with like 2 points, like 6 rebounds, 5 fouls or whatever. But the thing is I could communicate on defense because I was older than everybody. I wasn't gonna out jump nobody. So I had to be smarter than everybody. Right. And I think that's one of the things that the Knicks are missing. Right. The Knicks are legit missing a guy that's going to intimidate people at the basket and that's going to call out defenses. Mitchell Robinson ain't there yet. Nerlens Noel is there, but he's not there consistently. Like he got the communication stuff down, but he don't have the shot blocking stuff down and intimidation stuff down. And people say, well, Nerlens Noel block a lot of shots. And it's because people try Nerlens Noel because he don't intimidate nobody. He is like Craig Biggio. He ain't Derek Jeter.
Mm-hmm.
People try him all the time because he don't intimidate. He only 210. He don't intimidate nobody back there.
Yeah, he's like a human. He's like the human death stick.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, you hit the nail on the head with a sledgehammer on that one, Freeze. You know, you think back to the Knicks back in the '90s, and I don't want to be that cat to keep bringing up the '90s Knicks, that era, but it
Right.
was a different, tougher brand of ball. And also, you know, you knew when you came to play the Knicks or the Knicks came to town to play, you were in for a fight. It was a dog fight, and it wasn't, you know, no layups allowed. You're just not gonna get flight quarters and go flying around to the rim,
Right.
not against those teams.
Right.
You know, and like I said, we said this a few times. You and I talked about it. Don't have that enforcer on the team.
Right.
But the way the game is played now, you don't really have a true enforcer anymore. Not like, you know, we used to, but you don't have that physical guy, that guy that strikes that kind of fear. You
Right.
know, other teams, contenders have a guy like that. I mean, case in point, the Bucks had him, and then well, Houston had him. They traded him to the Bucks. He got a championship. Now he's in Miami. What I mean by that, PJ Tucker, that
Yep.
guy. You
Yep.
know, some people, well, you know, nobody to get scared of, but the things that he does, that toughness, he brings
Right.
that, and it comes off. You know, it leaks out of him into the team.
Yep.
That's something we don't have.
Yep. Yeah. We just don't have it, bro. We just don't have or like when I played in the military, we had a dude named Giles. Shout out to Giles, by the way. Giles used to be our man. He used to drink scorching hot beer, soul finger. Like he'll open his beer and sit it down, bro, and then go back and get it an hour later, it'd be room temperature and be guzzling. I'm like,
Oh,
ew.
Bro,
Ew,
you
bro,
know
you
what? I
drink a
don't know
warm.
what it is. We run across a cat like that in every branch.
Yeah. Yeah. We like, bro, like we used to be legit be in the barracks playing Tecmo Bowl. And my man would just sit the beer down and just like, I like
Yeah,
Giles. And he'll let it get room temperature is, and I'm talking about that it would be mid is I don't know what. It'd be the most medium ever. And he'd be like, yo, this fire. But anyway, he was our point guard, right? He was our point guard, and by that time I had grew so much, I was like our four, right? And what he would do is he would pick up dudes 94 feet and make them run their plays from the baseline. I mean, from the sideline, right? Giles would legit force you physically on a sideline and have you run the play from there. And I ain't never seen that before. But he was so stocky that you couldn't bump him. Like when you bumped him, he'll flop like he got shot. Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ! You know, and referee would be like, charge. And these dudes would be like, but he ain't even hurt. You know what I'm saying? But he would force you to run your play from the sidelines, right? And what that does is it extended the passing lanes. So now these dudes, we could see the play better, right? Because Giles, he'd be like, yo, I'm gonna do this, Uncle Freezy, but you better come out here with 10 rebounds. Because I'm forcing these dudes to brick. You better get the ball. And so at first I was like, yeah, I get, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened is I wasn't getting rebounds. He wouldn't pass it to me. He'd be like, Coach, tell Uncle Freezy to go over there to the corner. You know what I'm saying? So he made me hustle as a point guard. He made me hustle on offense and defense. Like he wouldn't even call me up for the screen. I'm like, John, let me put these bowls on something. No, you don't do nothing unless you get rebounds. Right? And the reason why I say that is because if we had a point guard that did that to Obi, like Obi, I ain't throwing you no lobs unless you get rebounds. Guess what Obi gonna start doing? Rebounding. Now you get Obi. If you ain't blocking those shots, you ain't touching the ball, bro. And guess what Obi gonna start doing? Blocking shots and rebounding, make it have more of an impact. And I didn't understand that point guards do those type of mental games with you while they're on the floor until I got in the military, because in high school ball, the coach controlled everything in high school ball. Ethan, am I right?
Yeah.
And so when you young, like in high school, you know, coach because your coach is the most powerful player. He control your destiny, so to speak. But when you get out of high school and you play all these other things, man, then it's more about the players. But basically what I'm getting at is this. Our struggles this year is not just a Julius Randle problem. I think it's a total roster construction problem. And we have different variants of offensive philosophy that we want to run. And a lot of these cats are not flexible enough to deviate from what they do primarily. Like Burks is a ball handling scorer at 6'6", and so is Fournier, right? And you would want RJ to be more better at that too, but RJ is looking like that might be what he is too, aside from being a spot up bricker. Cully, what's good?
Salute, y'all. What up, bros?
What's going on, Cully?
What's good?
What's going on?
L. Marshall was in the building. What's good? Hey, Soulfinger.
Yes, indeed.
Stafford Don is going to be mad at you that you called him Stephanie.
I called him Stephanie.
Yes, you did.
I said Stafford D. Stafford Don.
No. There's a you put something in the chat that Uncle Freezy and Stephanie D is going to be holding it down.
Let me go back and look because I was up to typing unless this doggone
autocorrect. Autocorrect.
The autocorrect, yeah. Now autocorrect.
Yeah, autocorrect might have got you, bro. Cully, what's going on?
What up, brother? Ain't not much. I'm chilling, man.
Hey, look at Rob the Nick. Rob the Nick said, Freezy, let me get the link. Rob, the link be in the chat, bro. What you doing? I be having it. Rob the Nick be wanting me to send him the link in an envelope. Nah, bro.
What up, brother BKL? Salute.
You know, overall, this season is not going anywhere the way we want it. However, like I said, this Decepticon that's that jumped out and started hitting everybody up was a blessing in disguise, because it's forcing, but because young guys are getting a chance to shine when they have. The only problem I got is once one of them shine, doggone Decepticon that took them down, got them on protocols, man.
Every time.
That's the only frustrating. Every time one of them shines. So,
yeah.
The thing is now you really, I look at it like this though. Our future is still really bright. It's just that I think we have said not going to jump the gun and say, McBride is the starting point guard right off because he had a good game against Houston, but Deuce should have been playing a while ago. And it hindsight is something else when you look at it.
Right.
That's money we could have spent somewhere else.
Right.
But maybe they was just trying to bring him along slowly, because I noticed.
No, yeah.
He was sitting, and then all of a sudden he got sent to the G League and started playing in the G League. So I think there was always a plan for him to play. With the addition of Kemba, maybe they could have strung that out a little longer. Make sure they developed him a little more. But once I saw him started playing consistent games in the G League, I was like, oh, it's only a matter of time before they bring him up, because that's what they usually do with a guy. Get him warm, get his feet wet, get him used to the competition before they throw him in there, because you don't want to put someone out there too early and they get crushed. Like I think. Go ahead, Sophie.
Oh no, Chuck. I was just gonna say, and that what you just said goes to what Freezy has been saying, because he wants to protect the kids, and it's true, because you throw them out there. Because the prime example was Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant was the prime example how he came out. We had this athletic point guard, and he up here trying to dunk on everybody.
Yeah,
couldn't shoot, but he tried to dunk. But then yet, confidence got shot because you put them out there on guards that he had no business being on too soon. You know, you do have to protect them, and just like you were saying, Chuck, we got to bring them in slowly. And I do believe Kimba. I think Kimba could have been that piece so you can bring Deuce in slowly. That's why they got him in the G League. But once Kimba didn't work out, that set of thinking and plans was blown up. So now you had to kind of accelerate.
Right. But still, you don't have to throw them to the wolves. I brought up this example the other night, and it's not perfect, but y'all remember when Linsanity started? It was like,
Oh God, yeah.
we got something, we got it. And the moment we went and played the Miami Heat, they stole that boy's lunch immediately. And then here comes the millions of headlines, and there's a chink in his armor, and he's not ready for prime time, and fool's gold, and blah 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 blah. You don't want to destroy a young kids like that mental, because that's hard to get back. You can get an injury, break a foot or a hand or whatever, and it takes time to rehab until you get back to where you need to be. But mental is the thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, because even in breaking your foot, the doctor's telling you can go, but in your mind you think, like, as soon as I put weight on this thing, it's going to shatter. I'm gonna I'm gonna twist my ankle again. So you don't want to mess with their mental.
And plus for 6 weeks you walking around with a cast on your foot, so you learn how to walk with a cast. Right. So then after that you gotta relearn how to walk normal. It's crazy, bro.
That's funny because it made me think about I had a complete patella tendon rupture, left knee. I did it over at playing ball up on base at MC. I was up at MCRD. Actually, I had a partial tear. Got diagnosed wrong, so I had a partial tear. Still playing ball, still going to the gym, working legs, doing stupid weight on squats, and Cat called me an old man, and I mean at the time I was I'm 28, and he calling me an old man.
You was
so
old,
you know
bro.
how you know how it is in the military. In the military, once you get over 25, you become an old man for whatever reason.
You become Sarge. Sarge. Hey, Sarge. Yeah. You 25.
Yeah. So I'm ancient. You ancient when you're in your 30s, and your early 30s and over 30, you're a fossil. Or over 35, you're a fossil or whatever. Anyway, I crossed my man up, and before I could say George, I said George. Before I get the Gervin out, the knee popped. The tendon completely ruptured, came off. I had to go through, had my surgery, had to reattach, and I couldn't do anything for a year. So it took me about a year to actually get back. So the first time I got back on the court, it's like you were saying, it's in my mind. I've been cleared. I'm out here, I can go out and run and everything, but in my mind, I got to get the confidence in the leg, and it's the fear. So when you put one of these young guys out there, i.e., because I know Jeremy Lin was hurt. He had an injury too, dealing with that. But still, he went down to Miami. They went out there. They were like sharks. They saw the blood in the water, and they went after him.
Right.
And his whole mental was broken. Jeremy Lin was never the same after Miami.
Right. Nope. Right. And the funny thing is, people think that just to jump in here real quick, Chuck, the funny thing is, people think that every event happens in a linear motion, but it don't. See, if that had happened to Jeremy Lin as a Detroit Piston, Jeremy Lin would have been okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that happened to him as a member of the New York Knicks, right? So now you like, yo, every newspaper, every news outlet, everything, 24/7, Jeremy Lin can't even go get a hot dog without, what happened in Miami? You know what I'm saying? And so you like, man, if this would have happened to him as a member of the Atlanta Hawks, this would never have been in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too hard on the New York media, right? But some things are blown way out of proportion.
Way out of proportion.
Yeah. Like the Carmelo game winner on Taj Gibson. Remember the Knicks playing the Bulls?
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Breen lost his mind. Carmelo for three. Bang! Bang! So all week long, all you heard was that. That was like the most meaningless game ever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not most meaningless. That might be hyperbole, but y'all get what I'm saying.
But you know what it is?
Carmelo
Also,
had a good game. He had a big shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That comes as being thirsty for some kind of victory because we had been falling into that rut, couldn't win anything. But also the not putting the right pieces around Melo at the time. I mean, we went through some ugly times, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna even try to go and pull an Anthony D, because Anthony D break down stuff, man. He go back in the day and pull out stuff that you forgot about, that you push back in your out of mind. It was so painful in Knicks history, and he rips the scab off and rubs salt and alcohol in that joker.
At the same, and orange juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So knowing that we have the tendency to over analyze and overhype things, I feel like even with the Deuce situation, like, yeah, he deserves playing time. I'm not saying he don't. I like everything that I saw, but at the same time, look who the competition was, and think about, he should get more time. Definitely coming off the bench with that second unit with his partner in crime, Grimes, and whoever else, and allow him to build up his confidence and then work his way into the starter position, instead of throwing him out there. And then let me tell you something. For the people that don't know, New York is hated everywhere. Wherever you go, the dudes want to fight you because their girls like you and don't even know you. And so they're just waiting for any opportunity to prove that they're better than you or they can beat you. So if we know who this kid is and we know what we see and we like, it's a team that's ready to try to take his lunch and take his heart to prove, y'all Knicks, y'all ain't got nobody. And I'm not saying he won't step up to the challenge, but you don't want to throw him to the wolves just yet. Let him work his way in there, get his confidence up, and then allow him to take the reins over from the starting point guard at the time, and let him groom him that way. I think he should absolutely play, because I can see now, like, if he's not scoring, he's going to play defense. He is going to play. He is going to play. He's going to play defense, and I'll take a guy like that any day. That's going to say, you know what, I don't have it right now, so I'm going to play this defense that I can get a turnover, and I can get something going for the rest of my team, or get a easy basket on the break for myself. I do believe he's our point guard, but we don't got to, like I said, we don't got to throw him in 8 feet of water,
right?
Or 10 feet of water. Let's start him off in 4, and then let him work his way to the end of the pool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, man. And so Chuck, I agree with you, and that's been my sentiment. I think sometimes when we say that, though, people think we don't have faith in the kids. It's just we don't want raw beef, bro. We want our beef to be well cooked. That's the old street saying, like, I want my beef cooked, bro. It's real beef. Not no fake beef. You know what I'm saying? Not no internet gangster beef. We don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We want if we got to have beef, we want real beef. Oh boy, look who just stepped in. Yo, we in trouble, y'all. Everybody, y'all tuck y'all necklaces, bro. Y'all tuck y'all chains, man.
It's not a stand-up.
OG, what's good? What's good?
It's the OG. Hide your chain.
Yeah, what's good, fam? Everybody good?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just said it was going. I was watching the Westchester Knicks highlights. Sims was down. Sims, your boys was down there. Jericho. He
How
had a
did
double.
how did he do?
He had a double.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
How he
yeah,
looked? How he looked though? He looked good.
yeah, yeah. You know, you can find it. It was like it came across my line on YouTube, the Westchester, because I'm subscribed to it, so it'll come across. Yeah, they showed him putting in work, dunking, blocking shots, setting screens. You know what he do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, running his game. Yeah, but yeah, he looked good.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So what's up?
Hey man, so we chopping it up, bro. Just um, so we chopping it up, man. Just talking about the future of the Knicks. We just did a just talk through a scenario, man. Basically, what it is sometimes when we talk about the youth movement, people misconstrue how we want to do the youth movement with we don't like a youth movement. And what it is with the youth movement, I think people have different opinions on how they want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if my opinion different from your opinion, it sounds like I'm hating on the youth when I'm not. Like some
Yeah,
people want to throw them to the wolves right away, and other people
Yeah.
want to save them for a rainy day, like let them ease their way in. And then people differ. They be like, "Why you hating on the youth? Why you want to do such and such?" And you like, "Yo, I ain't hating on them. I just would. My opinion is just different from yours on the approach. That's all."
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, you
you
know.
know, bottom line overall, everybody got at the end of the day, everybody want a championship. It's just everybody have
Yeah.
different ways to do it, you
Yeah.
know, and there's different ways to get there. It's just, but nobody, you know, I respect I like Freeze's view because hey Rob,
Yeah.
you know I'll say you the elder Nick up here in this panel, you know.
Yeah. I've been
Uh,
around
uh,
for a minute.
yeah,
Yeah.
how many times you seen a youngster get thrown to the wolves and then it come out bad? You know, you get beat up so bad
In
you
New
lose
York, yeah.
who yeah.
You know, it's like they like back in the day, it was like more like you can start rookies because most of them was coming in with 4 year experience.
Yeah.
You
True.
know, that was like a different type. Like sooner or later they're gonna get some run. Now with this new age, you coming straight out of high school, is more protection for the rookies then. But I'm thinking like if you got 4 years up under your belt and you get to this level, that you might have a little bit more leeway as far as like putting them in. But it usually takes to like at least the first half of the season, or you really have to fit a need. And if you really
Yeah,
have to fit a need, you need to go ahead and put that player in. Not all of them, but like quickly last year, he fitted a need. It was a need for him at that time. So
Right.
you had to go, you had to like go in with your guns drawn and you had to put him in because that was your best option.
Right.
And I think that like in McBride's situation that, you know, you have a need. You have a need. So if he comes in and he does what he does, what he did against Houston to Boston, I really feel as though you have to put him in then because he
yeah,
did it to a caliber team. If he had that impact, he don't have to have like no turnovers, but if he has an impact like that
Right.
and a chip on his shoulder, I was doing a little research on him a little bit earlier today, and when he got drafted, he was at his old high school. They had a thing in the gym for him, so he sat around. So they said he got on the microphone. He said, "Yeah, well, I didn't expect to go this far down the line, but the NBA is gonna pay. I'm gonna make them pay." And
Right.
they
hmm.
said that he didn't even crack a smile when he said it.
Right.
So
See,
I'm looking
I'm
at
a Deuce fan. I'm a Deuce fan. You know,
yeah,
I've been screaming D block for a minute. That's what I used to call it, D block. And
yeah,
the fact that I know if his offensive game isn't working, that defense of his travels, man.
yeah.
He
You
plays
know,
defense. He's like a pit bull. He's like a wedgie. He all up in you. He get all up in you. And I love that. You know,
he,
he doesn't back down.
he
We
like
granted we have tablespoon samples, but when we
oh
played Phoenix and he ripped Booker, That right there stood out because even though the game was a blowout, he's still playing hard, and he didn't back down from Book. He went at him just like he did at Cade. And we talking about he giving up some size at that.
Yeah. Hey, look at here. They say he likes sand. He stay with you.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, man.
I mean, all in all, man, at the end of the day, I know it's all gonna come together like butt cheeks, fellas. I mean, I'm you know, with all the dark clouds and all that. At the end of a rainy storm, the sun's still gonna come out. You know, not to all the rainbows and unicorn talk, but it's gonna turn around because we're nowhere near where we've been years ago. Nowhere.
Right. That's right.
And so my thing is, but my thing is this, and I know this is gonna sound so old school, but Rob, you remember Lee Nailon? You remember Lee Nailon, the big that could score?
Yeah.
And so Knicks fans, and back in the day, what year was that? The Lee Nailon year, 2002. Yeah, right. Like, so 2002, Lee Nailon was a big that could score. Right. He wasn't gonna get you no rebounds. He wasn't gonna play no defense. But when he was in the game, you knew he was gonna score the basketball. Right. In 2002, Knicks fans, there was a section of Knicks fans that was like, "Yo, y'all bugging. They need to play LeVar Postel and Lee Nailon." Y'all remember LeVar Postel?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, my man from St. John's, man, he need to get some run, man. Just throw him out there to the Wolves. And we threw him to the Wolves, and the Wolves ate him.
And guess where he wound up at? Down here in Asheville with the Asheville Attitude in the D-League championship game.
Right.
Him and Marteve Cleaves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. LeVar Postel, right? They threw him to the Wolves. He wasn't ready. They threw him to the Wolves. He's from St. John's. You know, he the Big East. Nah, bro. Nah, man. When you ain't ready, you ain't ready. Just take your time. You know, Lee Nailon either. What school he went to? I think he went to TCU, right?
Did he go to the college? I don't remember the college he went to. But
yeah, he went to TCU.
I know he couldn't rebound worth of nothing.
Nothing, right? He was a big dude with a big number that could score, right? But Knicks fans was like, "Yo, just put him in the game. The rebounds will find him." Nah, bro. The weight found him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But to be that big, that man should have been a power forward. You know what I'm saying? He a stretch four basically. Before stretch fours were stretch fours. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But Knicks fans have this thing over the course of years and years and years when a dude shows them a glimmer of a little teeny bit, show them a little bit, throw him to the Wolves, he should be starting.
Mm-hmm. And everybody can't handle that.
No, everybody can't handle that, bro.
You know, everybody can't. But you know, but some players play like you know, with an edge that it's not gonna bother them. But you got to be able to differentiate them from the ones that it will bother. Right. You know, so you know, we'll know in a week. Right. We will know before Christmas, do we have a Christmas present or not?
Right. Right. Because we'll know.
Yeah, we'll know. But it's good that he's on the team.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we're not watching him on another team saying, "Damn, that boy good." We're watching them on our team. And that's
right. Yo, Ron, it's to your point. You remember Frank Williams?
Yeah.
Ooh,
the point guard out of Illinois?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the dude that was coming down that Steph Curry road, that Steph Curry, Mark Price road, except he was bigger and stronger than them. Right? Yeah. And he could handle, right? But we wanted to throw him to the Wolves, bro. Remember that?
Look, we'll put you in there. Because you ain't going. If you don't have to sit around for 3 years and we got to pay you, we want to see what you want to do.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
it's not going to be easy for them. All of these rookies we got, like not all of them going to make it.
Not all of them gonna make it, bro. Right.
You know,
Right.
not all of them going to make it. You know, but I don't want to wait 3-4 years to find out that you ain't going to make it. I could put you in the package and send you off because you still have to have that heart.
Yeah, maybe you can make it somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't want to put that whole starting 5 in there, but after what we seen, I think that Deuce can do something for us.
Right.
With the mistakes or without the mistakes, because at one thing, I noticed one thing, you ain't seen Mitchell. That shot that Mitch took on Twitter, that was at the team. I'm running around here and I'm getting open and I'm doing all this cardio, catching up with your man and all of this, and I can't even get a pass. That was directed at the team, the point guards, because he looked totally different and totally revised. When you got 2 people that's covering a man on defense and you don't have to run and you can just stay with your man and block shots. Mitch had 17, 8 for 8, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks.
Right.
Difference with a point guard make that, and it's crazy what a point guard can do for you.
And,
and I don't even think he's a point guard. I look at more of a he's a floor general.
Right.
He's a floor general in the making.
And to Rob's point, you'll see the same thing with RJ Barrett. When RJ Barrett come back and only have to guard one person, watch what his shot gonna look like.
Everybody's defense get better.
Right.
When you don't have to run, when you're sensitive, and then when the guy run back door on you, then it look like it's your fault. But you're trying to plug a hole, but then another hole is leaking.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I see. Yeah, it's gonna be like tomorrow's game. To me, it's probably gonna be the best game of the year that I want to see, and it's just for one person. Without everybody, I want to see how he handles it. I'm glad this is the perfect opportunity because he doesn't have too much. It's not a lot of help for him. So now let's see how if you can react and you can come up big in a game like this when everybody is on protocol and you don't even have quickly now.
Right.
Let's see. And if he can make the people around him better from that position, hey, it's gonna be time to rock and roll. You don't want to throw Grimes and when you figure out what you want to do with Fournier, because at the end of the day, Fournier looked better with him.
Yeah.
What he had, 23?
Yeah, he did. He was the leading scorer. And the thing about it is all rookies ain't built the same. A lot of players ain't, whatever to handle it. But Deuce and Grimes are built totally different. And a lot of that came from the colleges they came from, or the coaches they played for in college.
Yeah, they played for Huggins. Huggins is a tough coach.
Yeah, both of them played under some hard-nosed coaches. So they are kind of like the exception to the rule when it comes to some of these young cats. Because I actually believe that those two, okay, and the reason I say that is, Knox was running around. Knox's confidence got snatched from him. It didn't get snatched. He got crushed and destroyed. He became Grant. He became the new Grant for the Knicks.
Right. The new Frank Williams.
But that was because new Frank Williams, because of how things went. Yeah. But these 2 young cats we got, Deuce and Clay Houston, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Grimes.
Yeah.
Them cats, they built different, man. They built for. Honestly, God, I think they built for this though. They built for the big stage and the bright lights of the Garden.
Right.
Yeah, me and Freezy used to always say last year. Remember, Freezy, we used to always say that Tibbs gonna take Knox, snatch him down to the bare essence, and rebuild him. When Knox hit that game in Milwaukee, he looked like a rebuilt player.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. He sure did, man.
Yeah, but look, another research that I did, y'all, that I want. Everybody's saying that Obi shooting 19% from the field. You know how many 3-pointers he put up? It's embarrassing that people will even bring that stat up. Out of all the time, he only shot 48 attempts.
Yeah,
his 3-point shooting is the one that's the worst one, but Obi is he's a pretty solid free throw shooter, and he can and from the floor.
Look,
he dunks or whatever else.
Last season when RJ had a rough start at the 3, RJ put up 55 before they even start saying his 3-point shots was off. You know, if Obi hit if he hit 6 of his next 7, he goes up to 35%, 40%.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit 7 out of 10. He's gonna go to 35% right there.
Okay.
But everybody put that number out there like, wow, like I was thinking like maybe he shot like 125. That's like almost 1.5 attempts a game. That's not enough to say that the boy can't hit the 3. And you coming in playing 12 minutes? I'm not a microwave, but let me sweat a little bit. I hit a little bit more shots. When I looked at him in college, man, Obi was hitting 3s, turning his back on the opposition and going back down court, and they were splashing. So, you know, if you can shoot, you can shoot. If you open, you open. So to say that he can't, I'm not quick to say that yet.
Well, you know what, Rob? It's funny you bringing it up because what was the knock on Kid when he first came into the league?
Hey, they used to call him Ace and Kid. Remember they used to call him Ace and Kid because he had
didn't
no
have
J.
a J.
Yeah, no J.
But then as in time he developed into what, a 3-point shooter. He could hit the shot. Well, look at D Rose. D Rose wasn't known as been hitting 3s like that in his early days or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And just give them time to develop. Every time they come back each year, they should be developing. It's not like Obi didn't put in any work because I've seen you seeing some stuff that he's done. Granted, I haven't seen him really hit somebody with that between the legs, hit him with a spin move and slap it off slap the backboard as he's scoring on him. But he will try to post somebody. It's a game he was supposed. I can't remember what game it was. Was it Boston? I do believe he had a chance to post somebody up, but didn't. And then I went back over to the sideline. I don't know if it was Taj or Randall that got up on him, and then you start seeing them trying to post more. But
hey, look,
give him time.
I've seen a couple of times in Atlanta, he caught a mouse in the house. He called for the ball, and they fed him straight down there, straight to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you know you ain't gonna get pulled after every mistake, and now Obi's leash is a little bit more longer.
Right.
You know, but last year, you can't operate looking over your back.
Yeah, man. Look, every time you make a mistake, you make one mistake, you get snatched up. You hear Obi the whole game.
Teabag.
The thing is, you can't function like that, man.
Yeah,
and,
as a rookie, you take it, but as you go on in your career, you're not dealing with that.
No, you're not. And the thing is Obi was drafted because Randall was not part of the plan. Randall had that season. That's why he's here. So now you stuck with the conundrum of you got to give Obi more minutes. But you notice when you do give Obi more minutes, he produces.
Yeah. You just going, look, it's easy to find more minutes for Randall. I mean, for Obi. It's kind of easy. Look, because Randall doesn't have to play 48, 38 minutes a game. And it's like good for him. You could get him down to 30. But you give him the crucial parts of them, but you can play Obi at any time of the game, at the 3, at the 4, at the small ball 5, whatever the situation may be. You got 3 spots that you can put him in, but 2 of them are most definite.
Yeah.
And the fact that he runs the floor, I like the fact that the man runs the floor. He can go end to end. I love the fact that man can go end to end because we were at the slowest pace last year. Weren't we known to have the slowest pace?
Oh yeah, that was us.
Yeah, but with that second unit come in, pace is picked up, and that's the problem. You got to get the problem with us is we got to get that balance in the starting lineup, and it seems like you're gonna have to integrate some from the second unit, from mob deep into the starting lineup to get a better balance. Again, I'm going back to the 2 additions that threw everything off. One is not playing, who's going to get traded really soon, and that's going to be Kimber. The other one, you got to see how it's going to work out with Evan, Evan Fournier, because Deuce may be the one that can unlock or maybe help him. But the problem I got with Evan is his effort and lack of defense. I don't like the fact that the Knicks lost their identity as a defensive team, that toughness. because really they come in, they've been soft with it, and I don't like using that word to talk about a Knicks team, but defensively we have been soft with him there. But Deuce, and granted, yeah, it was Houston. Houston is a young team. They got a bunch of mixed match parts and all these. They went there. They doing the Frankenstein thing, like you said earlier today, Freezy, or yesterday, Freezy. It is. They just got to get this identity back and bring that toughness where you used to go into, like we had last year. You come into the Garden, you think it will come out easy, but you leave him bumped up, lumped up, and bruised.
Yeah. And it's how the Indiana. And so, just to your point, people think the Indiana Pacers had great. Back in the day with the Davis boys and Reggie Miller and all of them, they think Indiana had a great defense. Indiana defense wasn't okay. The numbers will say they had a great defense, but they didn't. They played at a slow pace, and they physically leaned on. They played defense like we played last year, right?
They grind you down.
They grind you. Did the physicality of the game and the pace is like a heavyweight fight. You know what I'm saying? And whoever had the most legs and energy towards the end of the game usually won, right? But they didn't have, when you think about it, so OG, who was their individual lockdown defender? Was it Rick Smits? Rick Smits wasn't locking nobody. Rick Smits wasn't.
He sure didn't.
Rick Smits was just a shot blocker at the rim. If you
blocker, big man that could actually shoot.
Yeah, Rick Smits wasn't. He wasn't about to lock nobody down defensively like that. Rick Smits, in my opinion, was soft. But he could block shots.
He block shots with them bad feet.
Yeah, but Antonio Davis leaning on you all game.
Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, and Aaron McKee.
And Derek McKee. They had Derek
McKee and Haywood Workman.
Right. And they would bring it. They had a small forward. I don't know if you remember, but they had a small forward named Chuck Person. Right.
Chuck Person, the rifleman.
Chuck, who was Chuck Person guarding? Chuck Person wasn't guarding nobody, bro. Chuck Person wasn't a good defender. Reggie Miller was a willing defender, but Reggie Miller.
He's a willing defender, but he wasn't a good defender. The thing about Reggie run, you were so busy trying to stop him but he ran you ragged.
Yep. Yeah, you remember? Y'all remember Detlef Shrimp?
Detlef Shrimp, yeah, man.
Who was Detlef Shrimp guarding? Think about Reggie Miller, Detlef Shrimp, Chuck Person. Rick Smits. Who was they guarding, bro?
Nobody really. I mean, the thing is, with Detlef Shrimp being 6'10", he was the first 6'10". That was one of the first big men that could shoot.
Yeah.
He stretched the floor. He did things that, which is now, you look at people doing it now. Look at these cats doing it now. But he wasn't never known as no defender. The defenders were them Davis cats and McKee.
Yeah, and Derek McKee. Yeah. Derek, they used to call him the Jordan stopper. He would stop Jordan from scoring 40.
Yeah. You said he held him. Hey, look, he held Jordan to 35.
Yeah, man. You exactly right, bro. They just what I'm getting at though is like our defense is suspect, not because the individual parts are not there, because Grimes can guard, McBride can guard, RJ can guard, Randall can guard, in my opinion, Mitch can guard. These are all, in my opinion, good defenders. But when you don't have good team defense,
that's when there you go, Freezy. You go.
That's where I think stuff get out of sorts. Hey, Chuck Allen, did we lose you, bro? Chuckson? What? Hey, Rob, you must be cook. Rob, you cooking?
Kelly, you still there?
My fault, gentlemen. I'm back here stuffing my face.
I was doing that earlier. Yeah, I was doing that earlier when Ethan was in. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, but I'll just pointing out. I think the team defense aspect of it is where we missing. Like when I was saying, me and Reem Raw could play good together. It's because I could communicate. That was my thing. I wasn't jumping higher than nobody or running faster than nobody. But my thing is I was gonna set our defense, and you wasn't gonna get all the shots you was gonna get. It was gonna be long contested shots, and we was gonna rebound the ball and go the other way.
You know, and that's a good point. I mean, like you said, it's the team defense is horrible. You know, and
yeah,
but being that we had a point guard that can alleviate other points getting in and wreaking havoc on us.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that helps because how many times you saw a whole different Mitch? We saw a whole different Mitch in Houston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because before Mitch has been all season, Mitch normally has been in no man's land. Should I come out from underneath the rim, stop guard, protecting the rim to come out and help? Oh man, now he lost his man. Now I got to come out and get him.
Yeah. Yeah. Because every shot has to be contested.
Every shot, yeah.
And if you have to do that all game, that's how you gonna get out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or get hurt.
Yeah, that too. That part.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I mean, it's one of those deals. I think Tibbs is smart enough to figure it out. I just don't know what it'll look like if he snatched Fournier out of the starting lineup. I think it makes it look like an indictment on the front office.
Well, you know what? You can't play for everybody else. If you made a mistake and that's what it's happened, you got to be man enough in the front office to say it is what it is. Who cares what it looks like?
Right.
A mistake. Just because it's a mistake. Look, it's a mistake. If it's a mistake in 28 games, it's really hard to say it's a mistake yet. It looks like a mistake right now. It might not look like a mistake in 3 weeks. When you put the right point guard in place, you can have one liable player on defense per team. You know, you would like 5 to have it, but Fournier, as far as like what they say, he's a good on ball, but in team, they said he really can't. Once you get him off a pick and roll, he done.
Yeah.
Well, like I told you, man, look,
back up one person instead of two, he might can help Fournier out a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, with Deuce in there, that cuts that down because before it was Kimber and Fournier, he was trying to pick it up because they were both getting beat like a drum. But now you put down Deuce because cats weren't getting in there. Again, like I said, you got Evan Fournier playing that mystical defense. Talking about there you go, pointing around. There you go, the man right there.
There you go,
pointing
the man right there. Yep. Yeah. 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 And shout out to Louisiana rappers. Shout out to Currency. Shout out to Currency, Louisiana rap. Yeah, man. Hey, OG man, I done got tired, bro. I think I'm washed, bro. I think I'm wild, man.
Man, but you ain't go to sleep since this morning?
No.
Oh wow.
No, I tell you now, I after last night, because Ron called me, and Ron and me and man talked for about a good 2-3 hours.
Yeah,
I didn't get into bed till about 2:33 this morning to get up at 5:45, clean up and get up and work.
Yeah, man. Hey, so I'm gonna get out of here, bro. I think I'm washed, man. I was gonna try to do the KMD this morning, but I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Get that. Yeah, listen to your body, Freeze.
Yeah, I gotta get some.
Like I said, I gotta. Yeah, I need to give me some catch. That sleep monster he been trying to jump on my back myself.
Yeah,
and I gotta get up.
You got a game tomorrow anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man.
Get prepared for that one.
Yeah, I'll probably just watch that, and then jump back on afterwards, man. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank everybody for coming through, man. We've been rocking for 2.5 hours. That's a fast 2.5 hours, bro.
Hey, that's what. Hey, when you got some good conversation and you know, the OG came in, had to bless us with some jewels there. So you know,
Yeah, you know, slide on in. Every time I see you on at night, I can make that Nick at night. That
Yeah,
early morning, I'll fall asleep before that morning drive gets started,
yeah,
trying to
you
wake
know,
back up.
yeah,
it's just a
man.
matter of time for that insomnia hit me up. You know, I'd be on my back. Either that or that sleep monster hit me up.
It always seems like for me, it's always one or the other. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
yeah. So, but anyway, but we gonna rock, man. Thank y'all for coming through. I'll holler at y'all later, man.
Okay.
All right.